to update everyone on my life, I bought a condo, and in the process, I was also getting it renovated currently so I can have a proper studio set up where I'm able to cast all of these matches to the utmost of my ability. It's still being renovated, but right now I'm currently in the spot. So I apologize for everyone for leaving you guys hanging. I appreciate you guys' patience. Thank you for having me back, of course. I'm very excited. Today's going to be crazy.
Yes, it is, especially because we are starting off the day with G2 Esports, the number 2 team, I believe, in Shift Summer League. And then after that, we have a little bit of Gen.G. And after that, we have Fun, which is currently the only team that is truly eliminated from playoffs, the Shift Summer League. Essentially, the stakes, to lay them out for y'all right now, is that we are pretty much tied with Dignitas in terms of everything, except we are 4 ahead on game differential because they've been getting swept sometimes. But so to avoid dodging them, we would basically just have to have the exact same record or better than them and make sure we're not dropping a ridiculous amount of games. So we have a decent cushion. So it's just about outperforming Dignitas, and that's really the primary goal. And then obviously, if other teams start to falter, like if Shopify has a bad day, etc., then maybe we could squeak up a little bit further in the rankings. But we're looking to secure a spot here because top 6 makes playoffs, top 4 makes the upper bracket of those playoffs.
Yeah, not even just that. I mean, looking at the strength of schedule, I mean, we were talking about it briefly in just like the green room, how we look at the schedule that Dignitas have to go with, and it's not the easiest. Of course, they got to go against Red Bull's Magic Cheese and then Poab, which is becoming a force. For us, though, I mean, this is like if you were to run us in a double elim bracket during regular season while trying to qualify for Worlds or whatever, we would be very frightened. We'd be shaking in our boots because it is back-to-back G2 Gen.G and then wrapping up with Fun, which we get to wrap up with Talk, my boy. That'll be really heartbreaking if he eliminates me out of playoffs, but hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. I'm still very happy with like how things have turned out, considering, because I've of course been watching throughout, the comeback from the first week, from that 0-3 dreadful performance to now, has made my mental a lot better, Taco.
Yes. Yeah, and it's good to be able to step out occasionally.
Yes.
Also
it's made this move a lot less stressful, knowing that my team is still in contention.
Yes, it is nice. Granted, it is also going to be some weirdness because, in case anyone hasn't noticed, Rocket League is added the Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck, into the game. Personally, I think it's an awful hitbox that no one should use, but apparently Daniel has opted to wear the Cybertruck for this series. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. They're still in the test lobby. I don't know what they're possibly testing. I'm assuming Shift is just screwing around starting up the broadcast because we are on mainstream for this first match. So we are able to watch here. Of course, shout out to Shift RLE for your Twitch page if you'd like to watch Shift. But of course, keep a tab open for us because this is the OG team stream. So at least G2 has been kind of struggling. But the cool thing about the Shift Summer League is that it's a preview of what comes with Worlds, and also it has to be an exercise in irritation if you are Shopify or old LG, because they've just been playing so well, and yet this is just the only tournament they get to show off for.
I mean, you can't ask for a better time for them to be like, hey, sign me, free agents here, woo! Like, that's kind of the best case scenario for them, that they really, and honestly, I think they've really shocked everyone coming into this. I don't, like, maybe it's just the pressure off their shoulders of having to compete for an org, but this is the best we've seen, like, all 3 of these players in a long time. Maybe it's just the league play format that really kind of benefits a lot of these players. You know, Red Bulls, of course, having competed in that back in the day, and some players just kind of, you know, cozy up to different formats a lot better than others. That being said, I'm very happy that they're still around, and I'm still hoping that they can get an org at some point. They're too good not to. And yeah, for the Cybertruck, I mean, listen, I had so many jokes for the Cybertruck when we were talking about it. I was like, when I was in the office, because I was at the score office in the meantime, we were making a video for it. I was like, they should have made it so that when you get a demo with the Cybertruck, or when you're about to get demoed, you don't get demoed. The other person gets demoed because it's made out of steel and it's very, very strong, and you will crash into it and it will hurt a lot.
It feels like it's like I'm surprised that no company has tried to like sell Because, you know, there's so much talk about the cars and the rights in there, and then some companies are lame, in my opinion, and they're just like, actually, you're not allowed to customize the car because we have to stay on brand. It's only the bright red, it's only bright yellow, or nothing else. And it's just like, all right, whatever. And I will say Tesla does allow that. But I'm surprised no other companies are just like, hey, I think it would be bad for our image if a tap on the car made it explode. So if you could just like not make it explode, imagine paying $20 for a DLC car that legally they cannot allow to be demoed. So you can only get bumped.
I know it's a bit of a tangent just because Tesla is still being up, but that used to be the case actually. In old like Need for Speed games and old racing games like that, they had it so you weren't allowed to have like any damage module or model in the thing because they wanted the car in the game to be as pristine as possible, regardless of how you're driving it. So there's a few games where it's just cars are just impossible to break down. They look as perfect as ever, just because like that was in the rights. I mean, the whole joke is in The Walking Dead with like the Hyundai, whatever car that was in it, that like the moment you saw that Hyundai, no one was dying.
It's like, oh, we can't actually deal with any of that. So it'll probably be perfectly fine that you're in the zombie apocalypse, and yet the car is like weirdly like clean and also like never encounters a mechanical breakdown, and you're like, huh, it's a pretty reliable car.
I'm excited to try out the Cybertruck a little bit because I saw it on your stream. Shout out to Taco Stream, of course. I saw it on stream and it looks like the wonkiest thing to use. It feels really long.
It is.
Like, it's just really long.
It's a hybrid hitbox. It ends before the end of the back tire. It's so the entire back end of the car is just like a ghost like hitbox. It's very weird and does not feel good. But you know, if it does feel good, the fact that this test lobby has been approved, we do have a lobby to go, and it's going to be G2 and OG actually getting to the series. Again, chat, this is going to be a revenge match because this is a double round robin league play matchup. So this is the second time we have played G2. They were able to edge out the win last time, but maybe we can get a dub this time. G2's looking a little shaky. Obviously, they're still G2, so going to be a task and a half, I will say. But I'm ready, and I think the boys are as well.
Yeah, this is a G2 that looks as warmed up as ever. They look like they found their form again after kind of getting comfortable with the format that we have here. But they're going up against an OG, which has been able to take some decent wins with the SSG series, of course, that we saw, which, you know, wasn't the best series of both teams, but it was still a strong win for OG regardless. But G2 is another animal in its entirety, especially now as they prep for Worlds.
Yes, and going into Worlds, obviously, this is like the main thing that I think OG's been leading us on a roller coaster. We had one singular day last week where it was just the worst we played. We were just not feeling it. I wasn't able to talk to the boys because I don't feel it's my place to, like, you know, be like, hey guys, what was going on? Like, how you feeling? But like, I feel like they were just off their mojo, and then the very next day they were playing gangbusters. It was looking great. So like, I think there are some days it's a little shaky, but overall after yesterday, I actually trust the game plan. Yeah, we're still going to game 5 as we're still like taking time to get into some series, but for the most part, I feel like they're honing in on what they really want to look like, and now we can actually see what they look like on the very final day of gameplay here for the Shift Summer League play portion before we kick into playoffs. It's game 1, G2 Stride, OG.
So excited to see how this goes. Of course, with this whole tournament, with this format, it's been so important for the grassroots to see these professional teams at the top level playing in off-circuit tournaments like this. It is so tremendously important for our games, especially for North America, that we actually get to see our top teams. And we're so incredibly excited, though not for Daniel, as he will be able to open things up here at 4:38.
And it's unfortunate because Beast Mode gets that really nice speed on that one. And Daniel, of course, with the Cybertruck, wonky hitbox. Nothing wonky about that hit, though. Straight down into the middle. And so that's a G2. They're just fast. They just play a million miles an hour. I don't think they've ever used their brakes.
No, not at all. That being said, I want to point out that there was a video that Tesla did point out with the Cybertruck saying that it was faster than a Porsche 911. So, of course, perfect to fit into Daniel's hands as he'll be able to knock this away. It's still dangerous, though, as he has to pitch it off the backboard. J-Naps keeps it dangerous. Atomic can't get the read. Nolly will tie it up.
Really do love that over from Anoli being able to position here. But, of course, J-Naps being able to dish that one. I think if that shot was attempted, Atomic most likely has it down. So kind of like the idea of just kind of dragging it across the backboard, making sure the read is that much harder. Nice equalizer within the first 45 seconds for OG. And, again, this is going to be a good test to be able to warm us up. Possibly the best
no,
possible team to warm us up outside of RMC, Rattles Magic Cheese, the old LG squad that is currently running this Shift League play. Another pass down. Daniel, no! As we fall off the near post. Tragic.
This is so wonky. Why is it Daniel that has to be both goals on his plate? The double commit just falls awkwardly, and Calm just is forced to sit back and watch as the lead is stripped away from him.
That is tragic, for sure. Especially because I'm fairly certain that as we went off that near post, we had 2 players go for it. But it was like in between, like Daniel and hitting the ball. So we sandwiched him a little bit, but not necessarily able to stop the shot. So G2 scored prettier goals, and we also have a capacity to get them as well. Noli, if only had a little more boost, maybe could have fallen on that to get the 1-2-1.
I love the transition, though. It was so quick and especially accurate, which is what we've been needing to see more a bit out of OG, that just pure pace of play against some of these top teams. Daniel and Atomic both kind of fumble. Actually, the communication all around is kind of confusing from G2, but they're making it work this time around. JNaps sends it to Noli. Noli waiting, playing patient, knocks it up high. Calm puts it off the sidewall. JNaps comes in, out of Atomic's hands. JNaps will tie the game.
I thought we were taking too long, but that was just a slow rotation. Look at everybody on G2. Daniel has nothing. Atomic has nothing. Beast Mode, he's out to lunch. He's not even involved in the play because he, too, is out of boost. So G2 typically not a team I worry about on the double commit at all because I know the recovery's so fast, but apparently they just did not have any pads on the way back. So I will gladly take that goal, and I could take this one as well as Calm should have some time as Daniel has to go all the way back to his backboard. Calm doesn't take it immediately, but the delay flick middle does get a deflection only for Atomic to send it back over the line.
Abs trying to keep it in the midfield. Beast Mode back to Daniel. Daniel gonna look for the solo again. A double commit from OG, but it works out in their favor in the defensive end. Beast Mode, please. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I've been playing too much champ. I've seen too many own goals, unfortunately, recently. A triple commit from the major champion.
You know, you got to do the unexpected sometimes, Seb, you know? Like, and sometimes that is sending the entire house. And, of course, that's going to work. I hate this team so much. I hate them so much.
What is happening? This is such wonky gameplay from Daniel. Just getting that full aggression there with the Beast Mode 50. I'm so confused as to how this is somehow turning out in G2's favor, but that is just the dip we're dealing with right now.
Of course, G2 just falling from the ceiling. Calm trying to hit it around him, and of course gets perfectly 50 just in time for Daniel to get that demo too. I mean, you could not script that any better if you were G2. Either way, we are very much neck and neck still with it, albeit trying to play catch up with, yes, the major winners, international champions G2, as Atomic taking off the sidewall, going for yet another 50, and he will get a decent size of it, but Noli knows better this time. Able to circumvent that first play. Now JNaps on his trail, going underneath one, not past Atomic though.
Beast Mode. Atomic giving Calm a lot of room. Atomic will be able to get the second touch off the sidewall. Be able to do it again. Calm. Taking possession. Daniel pre-jumping, ego challenging this, just like Tesla on the car market. Calm looking for the 50. Noli. I'm really going in on Tesla. Sorry, I'm a car nerd, and I feel like I need to specify that, like, I have my biases. Anyway, moving on. G2 looking for another. Atomic will be able to put it on, but it will be saved.
Naps into the ceiling, looking for the double from an angle on target. Beast Mode, gotta spoil the fun, getting the save, and Noli will just play keep away from Atomic for now, as he will regress only so far into the OG half. I will say, we're going for mechanical plays, we're getting aggressive on offense. It is nice, but obviously you're gonna have to bust out quite a lot to be able to get a couple goals past G2.
I want to ask, did you say Jada? Oh, Noli, over to Calm. Great pass, and it is a tie game. The fake comes through for OG.
Really love that one from JNaps. So then Noli coming up the air completely freezes Atomic, and I love communications like that. It's sometimes where you know you don't have it. If you call it early enough, it actually turns into a perfectly sketched up play. But you have to be close enough to be able to take advantage of that positional advantage. And now we can have something to a little bit play for, as now we're all tied up. It's all square. We're basically just back at the kickoff, except we are down to a minute remaining. So at this point, it might be even just silver goal territory.
Yeah, also, I did want to ask, did you say JNaps is going for the double-double as like a Canadian thing?
Is that a thing? What's a double-double?
A double-double is like the go-to classic drink from Tim Hortons.
Oh, I've gone by one Tim Hortons. It was in my hometown in upstate New York, and I've never been to one, though. I've always driven by it. So I would have not. I did not know.
Ask any Canadian to tell you what a double-double is, and they will tell you.
Damn, I really should have just taken credit. I'm like, of course,
Yeah,
I am a commentator. I know references to make about the players.
That was great.
Now I just need
gonna
regional
congratulate
things for Calm and Noli, and then we'll be all great.
All right, Calm. Pushing it through. Still aggressing. Just trying to throw off Atomic. Daniel. Last 10 seconds. Again, this one will be the last possession, going all the way through, looking for as much distance as he can on the Cybertruck. Calm, beast mode, puts it down. It's still there, and it's still in play. Calm will put it down in the nick of time. We go to overtime.
Daniel might have been able to hit that in the Octane. Anywho, we're into OT, and we'll have to see what Atomic has cooking. And by cooking, I mean throwing away immediately, because JNap's going to slap that back to the corner. Dan, heavy touch, getting stolen away from JNap's. Noli, not a lot of boost. He's still going to go for it. Deflection. If only Naps had literally anything in the tank, he'll take a boost steal instead.
I appreciate that the positioning was there, though. I mean, if he did, but end of the day, that's all that matters. Noli almost dunks it downwards. Calm keeps it in play. JNaps goes for the shot. Game 1 goes to OG.
Oh, it's so easy, I say, with my pits completely covered in sweat right now after an incredibly sweaty game 1. Noli gets the drop down, bumps the goalie out. Calm passes middle, and what's better than a game 1 OG victory off of the team play?
Oh, jeez. We're so back. We're so back, boys. Are you feeling it yet?
See, these are the things I live for, is not having to say, well, guys, actually, OG typically starts kind of slow. No, it's like, no, we start off with a game win. Granted, a lot of shots from G2, good goals as well, but outscoring G2, always a good feeling as we're slowly transitioning over into game number 2. I wonder how they're feeling about it on broadcast.
You know, I'm sure they're having mixed feelings. You know, OG lives to upset analysts on desks. That should be standard. I never got my Red Bull, by the way. I'm very upset. The thing is, I'm wondering if it's just stuck in shipment, but it's gonna ship to my old address now.
Oh,
so whoever gets it, they're just gonna be like, why did I just get like a 24 pack of Red Bull? You know, I'm sure the desk is loving this. You know, they love to see OG prove them wrong.
Yes, I mean, I think at the same time, I think OG is a team that everyone's been kind of waiting for their like pop-off moment, be able to like truly show like what they're made of, because I do feel like everyone, including commentators, are like, man, we know OG can like beat all these really good teams, but it just sometimes doesn't always click. So we're kind of waiting for that. You know, we'll find out how these series are going to transition, but we will transition back over into the match. Salty Shores Game 2, seeing if G2 feeling any different. Daniel, apparently, stick with the Cybertruck, man, is a man of conviction.
Yeah, I want to know how long it takes. Like, can we start like a poll in chat? Like, how many games will it take before Daniel switches back to Octane?
I think he might just full send this whole day. I think he might actually do it.
Then I think you should get like a bonus for like channel points or something. I think it'd be great. Daniel, Daniel's getting the second. Daniel actually going to continue re-aggressing. Atomic half-flipping back. That's going to be a pass over to Beast Mode.
What a save.
Barely there in time.
No, he's disgusting on those saves. Another goal line stop that is going to take the last second reactions. Beast Mode, making sure this play is not over. Going for that low play into the 50. Noli takes the correct angle with another one back across. Atomic going to be a little bit late to this one, so JNap's gladly taking it to the far side against his former teammate, as well as circumventing the next player. If only Atomic didn't have that nice recovery.
I think Calm and Noli kind of knew wasn't too much worth committing to. Atomic, however, going off the ceiling. Good read, though, on the defense from OG. Calm chasing this down. Noli going for the demo on Daniel, but you can't beat the Cybertruck.
It's just too big of a hitbox, at least visually.
It's made of stainless steel.
It will crush anything in its path, somehow. Road legal.
It literally will.
Absolute bonkers engineering, but either way, we will see Calm take it back into the corner. JNap's able to dribble around. Daniel would be able to get a 50 beyond the first one, but the bounce just a little too high, and the G-force taking him down into the ground. Not able to get the second one either. Calm, well played in the 50.
Want to know another Cybertruck fact?
I would love it. You seem to be full of them.
All right. Do you know that the Cybertruck has set the record for the largest production car windshield wipers? In that it has one massive windshield wiper that just covers the entirety of the one front windshield, which is already one of the largest production vehicle windshields ever made.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. You need the largest of everything, because it's trying to be a massive truck. be kind of lame to be like, they have like, you know, pretty diminutive like little wipers. Now you need one massive wiper, like a great sword, slashing through the rain.
Look at Calm, oh, man, just going in for these demos.
I was going to transition into Calm slashing through the defense, but that's okay. Because we already know he does that. And I would also like him to get these clears as it's getting real chaotic here in the midfield. I'm sorry that we're talking about random Cybertruck and trivia, but right now, this game number 2, it has been kind of even keel for both teams.
I'm kind of liking, though, like, we're seeing JNAPs, for example, like full hop. Oh, wow, I'm using quite a terminology. We're seeing JNAPs full hop when he has no boost. And I think it really is kind of baiting. Daniel bumped out of the way. It is baiting a lot of the G2 defenders into challenging a bit early when really it gives more time to the boys to get more resources to cover that midfield game.
Now we got to make sure we cover our back because Calm had to recover all the way back down. Noli, with a lot of boost, will be able to take that first one. Love that little touch from Calm, even though it's not a demo, just the disruption that he will be able to provide, as always. Unfortunately, that one a bit too far away. So Dan, like always, perfect first touch into the reset. Going for another one in the Cybertruck. Man's nasty, but unfortunately just too far away to be able to get that one through.
Yeah, I feel at this point, I think Daniel's car pick is pretty much just like a placebo. Like, it's just proving everyone, I can pop off with any car ever.
I wonder how much of that is muscle memory. If you gave a pro an invisible car, do you think they could just double flip reset just off that alone?
If it's the same hitbox that they're usually used to, I think so, yeah.
Content creators, they just give you $1 million idea. You're welcome for that. You're welcome for that. Luckily, I don't have the coding knowledge. I'm sure someone could do it.
You're a content creator too, by the way.
No, it's fine. If not, I'll try to do that afterwards. Anyway, I'm sure that's already been made. Everything has already been made. There's no original ideas. We live in a creative wasteland. Anyway, so OG will be able to get that first defense with the deflection over Noli, and now Calm will be able to likely extend, or at the very least, fake out. G2 still looking on the attack, but we are... No. I was going to say bumping them out of the way, so that should be fine. Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's a bit strange, and I really thought, like, one, I just didn't think he was just going to go straight for it, but I don't think JNAPs really had a sense that that was going to be so on target, considering usually those first touches, like, they really have to fight for. So G2 will take the lead, 1-0 here.
I really expected, to be honest, JNAPs to be able to jump up for this one and then get that deflection. But I think when that ball went through, he thought the ball was going to get deflected up. So I feel like he started moving up the backboard. And then as soon as it does, it's one of the hardest directions to adjust to, in my opinion, is when you're dive bombing on the ball on the backboard. So maybe just the reaction's not clicking in. But that's okay, because there's 25 seconds remaining. Oh, no. OG just has to activate the clutch mode, which typically they're pretty good at. Problem is they're playing against major winning G2, so they're trying to drain out as much of this clock as possible. Demo to lead the way, and yet that's a miss, so JNAPs trying to get up forward. Flick high, Atomic gets the first one. JNAPs double tap only going to be met by Dan.
All right, last possession here, and I think Calm with a full tank over Calm. And send it all the way. If he gets another flip, JNAPs will knock it up high. Dan knocks it up high as well. This could be a chance for Noli if he gets a good read, but no, he'll let it touch the ground. G2 tied the series.
In the words of Alex from the Twitch chat, that is such an OG way to concede. It really is. Yep. Just of all the shots, saving everything out, getting a deflection, doing all that, it's just the white little boop, and just goes all the way through with two defenders on that near post. Calm breakdown a little bit, but ultimately we will be able to only have to suffer a 1-0 loss in Game 2 to tie up the series.
It is pretty classic. I mean, even if it is just a slight misread, but again, it's not like the positioning was terrible, even though JNFs kind of did have to turn for it. I just, you know, it happens, right? Regardless, I still think we played it strong. We played it incredibly close. It was worth for us to like try and get more aggressive. That was just the one time where just it kind of all fell apart. It was just one kind of goal, and I think realistically, it was just like, yeah, I know, but it was realistically, I think one that we can kind of throw away just a little bit and be like, okay, we played it close, but that one was a fumble.
A little bit, but either way, yeah, we got to be able to scrape forward and get some shots off. Game number 1 was looking great. I think G2, for the most part, adjusted. They were still under pressure at times, but we weren't able to get a lot of direct offensive pressure. DFH, maybe another story, especially on a kickoff like that. That's a really weird bounce, and yet Beast Mode, of course, able to get to it just enough.
JNFs sends it across, but really to no one, though Calm might be in a decent position to make it work. Looking for the second, but no, it'll be a pass over to JNFs. Noli, Atomic, deleting up JNFs, pre-flip shot. Calm puts it up high, just put it in, my guy.
That's so tough. JNAP's also almost just clipped all over G2 right there. That would have been disgusting. But, of course, he's not able to quite get that through, and the follow-up shot just didn't have the pace. So now it seems like G2 still under fire, going to have to survive against some of these demos. JNAP's trying to get the hard read. Daniel had more than enough time to countervail that.
JNAP's with rotate back. Beast Mode just casually leapfrogging. Here, though, that he's still going to be out of boost, actually, if JNAP's can get to the ball first. Noli also beats B-Mode to the ball. Noli, this is just so casually. Why isn't anyone going for it? Because G2 gives so much room over to OG. This could be very dangerous, as he'll be able to put it off of the back wall. Noli plays it a bit slow. JNAP's keeping it in the midfield. G2 finally alleviating it for themselves. Atomic can't get the read, though.
Oof, thank gosh that they couldn't get that read, because not really in the mood to have to deal with that, especially on the goal call. But either way, we'll be able to find JNAPs off the side wall, now off ceiling, with a flip in the back pocket, able to throw it over to Noli. Decides better of it. Back to get some boost instead, dealing with beast mode's clear, which should be something OG can get to, if not for just a pesky little touch by Atomic, as always.
Abimo. Noli. These 50s, they're getting closer and closer to the goal line, and I think they're going to have to really keep it in mind, especially as G2 start to get warmed up to this game. JNAPs plays on the defense. 50 with BMO. That's a great 50 if he can manage to follow it up. Atomic will take the boost. BMO and Calm. Again, we're seeing Calm and Noli play this a little bit more passively in the midfield than we usually are used to.
Yeah, and sometimes you really have to against G2, because one of the biggest mistakes I always say when you're playing a really mechanical team is letting them set up, letting them get mechanical plays. But the other side of it is you don't just want to dive in on everything, because they will beat you over the top on their first touch every single time. These guys are Two's demons, and therefore they're going to use that strength. So you have to kind of play this weird middle ground of saying, okay, well, you want to press in their face, but if you're late to a play, and I mean, they already have a setup, sometimes you do have to just kind of full send it back to defense instead. And I think that's right now Rody's trying to find out their balance, especially when it comes to G2, who just plays a million miles an hour at all times.
So I think we ourselves are starting to kind of slow down just a touch. And Dan try to beat us to the ball. JNAPs goes all the way in again. No care in the world. Calm be able to beat BMO to the ball. JNAPs if he can get there in time, but no, Atomic barely stretches just far enough. BMO plays the aggressive first man. Atomic looking for the demo. Daniel comes in with the shot. G2 will take the first lead.
That's a painful one, too, because Beast Mode taps this down. Noli had it red. The problem is that pop-up is perfectly played by both G2 players, because once they're out of the play, they go for the bump. It forces the goalie to have to jump out of the way, which leaves that goal wide open for Daniel to shoot from. Never going to miss there, even in a clunky cardboard box of a car. So he will be able to put G2 up yet again, and now, no. That's really the only offense they get. That one just saved away.
Daniel going for the demo on Calm, though, to try and open things up. Smart, but touch too slow. Calm following it up as much as possible. Getting a demo on one. Atomic will be there, though. Noli is beating the 50. JNAPs touches the ground just in time. He'll get demoed for his effort. And with just about 90 seconds remaining, OG trying to find their opening.
Beast Mode, of course, gets a reset and goes in front of it to get the block. Of course, he's going to be sent to the scrap heap anyway, but doesn't much hurt anything from G2. The rotation still intact for now. Beast Mode trying to get 50'd by JNAPs, and he will win, I would say, majority of it as his defenders start to come on through. However, that's a wave dash pass across to JNAPs. The tuck down. BMO save. Noli put back. Undeniable.
Noli being in the perfect position to be able to catch this rebound, but Calm, this is all on him and partially on G2's positioning, but he was able to make it possible, facilitate, and now we're back at a tie game.
It's so difficult to be able to know whether or not that's going to be defendable and when you need to follow up. So credit to OG being able to send everybody on their attacks that they trust are in dangerous positions instead of just sitting back and kind of chilling sometimes as the third. Speaking of, there's no chill on that challenge from Calm. Immediately cut out that infield pass, which leads to G2 somewhat in shambles. OG over the top, Naps with the bounce shot. I think he was going for the ground double. It still might work as Daniel was flailing, and yet able to get that touch away. Noli, one more chance from ceiling. Can't get the spike down.
No, I love the idea from OG, though. It's just they had to react to that misplay from G2 as quick as possible. As G2, I mean, a little undercooked, a little fresh. Daniel, straight to beast mode. They're going to give it one more go. This is going all the way, and Noli able to reach back in time. Last 30 seconds, G2 in the driver's seat, looking for their chance.
Good staggered defense from OG. Problem is running out of boost. Naps knows it. He needs help, and he's not going to receive it. Of course, G2, they find a way.
Oh gosh, this is again where we're kind of seeing JNAPS in that front post position, and it's just a little bit awkward for him to play with as the pass down to Daniel finds its mark. No problem at all.
And of course, leave it to Atomic to find the perfect touch. Any other pinch, and Jams mostly has that, or anyone else rotating through is going to get that clear, but no, it's perfectly straight down. That is not going to be perfect from Noli, as Calm will be able to rescue it. It's got to go coast to coast for OG. JNAPS looking for a pinch potentially. Timing wasn't there. Bounce up and over. I don't think that can be held up. And unfortunately, it's going to be another 1-goal game for G2.
That felt like literally in the last 10 seconds, everything that could go wrong did indeed go wrong. With the misflip from Noli, just the Calm not being able to go coast to coast, the double commit as well from JNAPS. So much of it just fell apart. That being said, though, I don't think OG, I mean, they were, again, close. These are 1-goal games and so incredibly close, holding it up to G2. JNAPS has 5 shots on the board just for himself. We're almost able to make it, but G2 will take the lead in this series.
Relatively low amount of shots in total. G2 scoring 2 out of their 5, but that's really all they needed to be able to get them off. High percentage chances, being able to set up positionally well, and of course G2 is just so good at being able to force danger. And part of their the buff that they get, I think of it as almost like the like an RPG trait that they have as a team, is like anytime they're on the ball, the defense is going to be like 10 to 20% a little anxious. So naturally they get way more respect than like any other team, and because of that, I think that led to that first Noli deflection trying to get around beast mode, and then Daniel eventually top shelves it. So if we can prevent that, I think these games are going pretty good, considering that we are kind of neck and neck with G2. It's coming down to like individual plays. Hopefully we have a bit more plays to be able to bust out here as we go into Game 4 on Estadio Vida, seeing if G2 can complete their gentleman's sweep or if we have something left in our tanks.
Yeah, Tordad also said that Daniel has actually been the top scorer for G2 thus far this series, of course, in the Cybertruck. So I think we're all bad. Everyone bow down to Daniel's greatness. He has found the new meta car.
It does seem like that sometimes, but I disagree. I think people just like having a new car and they'll try it out. And frankly, Daniel, he can wear whatever he wants and he'll still play great. For example, gets the first fake, gets the other one over. Atomic, able to settle for a 50, going for a double yet again. That's actually perfectly into beast mode, and we just can't learn a lesson with Atomic in these corner doubles.
No, again, just so well played from Atomic as well. Just so much power on it too. JNAPS just couldn't get the read on it. Beast mode, perfect positioning, so well communicated. At this point, G2, the series is in their hands. OG, it's on them to be able to make this comeback work.
Calm, able to chase down underneath, and he will be giving some chase to beast mode, which I don't think will really yield that panic clear, but at the end of the day, it still results in a wide open touch for JNAPS, trying to tap that down near post. Noli cannot dish that. Creative build-up, but still an angle that takes a lot of precision to be able to make work.
Passing definitely took some imagination. It almost really worked out for them. Noli waiting for that midfield boost. JNAPS just going to look for time. Actually just going to go straight for the pinch. Atomic able to get the save straight to Calm.
And actually, Daniel just throws it right back to Calm, but Calm, not expecting it, is already rotating out with no boost. Now underneath, Calm taking it up and over, trying to take on Daniel. At the angle is going to favor the man coming from that backboard. As another deflection high means beast mode will go up for it. I don't think we were truly aware of just how little boost he had. Again, that respect is going to be paid off, that beast mode can make pretty much anything work if he really needs to.
The beast mode. He's going all the way himself. Calm being very patient with his read, straight off the crossbar, incredibly close. A little too close for comfort. Noli full tank and be able to do what he can to try and make some space. As the double commit though from the G2 side, it might not matter with beast mode is on the ball with a decent amount in the tank, but it will be saved by OG. Atomic looking to the corner, Daniel in the waiting, no shot.
Beast mode, catch and gather, met by Noli. High deflection by Daniel means Atomic has to chase this one down, of course, gets that double tap as he is pretty consistent on so far. Atomic been playing really solid midfielder role. Now he's gonna have to fill it again because that's the 1, 2, and 1. Daniel saw it coming. Save on the backboard, and then he will do even more. Gets the deflection all the way down and finds beast mode for the deflection.
Beast mode playing the aggressive first man, going in for as many demos as possible. Noli, let's get a decent 50 again. Just So much aggression on the goal line from G2 is putting us a little bit scared right now. It's going to go off the post. Beast Mode knocks it up, but not in the way that he wanted. Atomic over to JNaps. Daniel puts it on just to give a possession away. Actually just going for the pre-flip pass over to Atomic. Brilliant from G2.
Atomic, that's such a cerebral finish right there. As he knows, Noli is going to be halfway up the line, so if he shoots that high, it's a save, but if he shoots it low enough, it's not something that the bumper is going to be able to grasp. Tucking it underneath our effort. Unfortunately, G2 going to be opening up a 2-0 lead, something they are not often going to be giving up, but of course, with 2 minutes remaining, gives us some room. Now we just got to make sure Beast Mode doesn't pull off a vintage classic. He does not, and Daniel not going to be able to give up a counter as well.
Beast Mode gonna put this on. JNaps has to read for it. This is looking like G2 are slowly starting to walk away. They found their rhythm. They're leaving us behind. This deficit is definitely looking like the steepest we've seen in this series thus far. Though Calm, it's over to JNaps. Atomic, Beast Mode, double, looking to just keep it out as much as possible. Noli tries to put it underneath. Just kidding. He'll be able to get it over. Noli instead catches him out of position.
Like this precision from Noli, soft catch, and then immediately ducks underneath Daniel, who's going high. He's looking for the bump. Beast Mode, I don't think expected Daniel to not get any contact on ball or man, so therefore he's kind of stranded in the backfield. Noli knows what to do with that. Man plays a lot of 2v2. He is born for that moment now. Just got to show that we are also able to live up to that. No. That's off kickoff, off post, and Noli should be able to recover in time, get the 50.
Way too close. Way too close. But OG able to hold on. Calm. Just going to send it downfield to give us some room to breathe. Take a deep breath, boys. Get 90 seconds.
That's going to be a miss out of the backboard, and then JNaps turning around. Atomic, unfortunately, has far more boost. Noli not able to get the read, and that's a golden opportunity, or at least something of a precious metal, because it's so hard to be able to predict when G2 is not going to be ready for these reads. It's hard to predict when Noli is able to pre-jump that one, or when G2 is double committing, just panic in the last minute, it seems like from both sides.
JNaps gonna cover in the midfield. Noli in the waiting, goes for the shot, gets the dunk, but it goes just a touch too high. The margins so slim right now to get these goals on G2, especially with so little time. It'll bounce off the crossbar. OG barely managing to survive. JNaps will put this shot on. Double commit from G2 as OG doing everything they can to survive this series.
Calm from the ceiling. Looks like he has a bump as the lead, and it will be dodged somewhat by Atomic, but the boost steal is in for Calm. Atomic, not the best clear. Noli tries to tap that down. Where's the follow through? It's just a sitter. Daniel was faked out at first, but then is able to dive in time to get another clear. Just about 10 seconds that OG has to work with, and problem is G2 knows it. They're playing for the fakes. They're playing for the crossfield passes.
Noli. Last possession here for OG, especially as Noli able to load up on one. Calm gonna play for the flick. The read, the shot! No, it's on the goal line! G2 take the win!
No! Everything went right there. If that was just a little bit to the right, that's a 0-second goal yet again for OG. Oh my God, my head is in my hands right now. That's such an awful way to lose that.
Oh, yeah, that hurts.
Referee, where's the VAR? I need to see the VAR.
Run it back. Yeah, that hurt. JNaps still in the lobby. I mean, this is that's a hard one to lose, especially when it looks so close from the onset, and we lose to the Cybertruck.
I know. That's that really is the worst part. Daniel's memeing. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna play this one, see how it works. And you know, he looks fine, but my gosh, really felt like we could have pulled out that one. But either way, that unfortunately will be a loss to G2. 3-1. Again, nothing that's going to severely set us back, as we are still waiting for other results. Just as a reminder, we are in the playoffs so long as we do better than Dignitas. And Dignitas, hey, exactly same. So we remain even keel with them. They were 1-3 by RMC. Still waiting on Incorrect and SSG, which is currently apparently in Game 5 right now being finished up, as well as Fun and Poab, which is also in Game 5, the only games that have not completed yet.
Well, next up for us will be Gen.G, but I will say that also, along with the games, you know, 3-1 for RMC, but the goal differential in terms of RMC to Dig is not, I mean, games 3 and 4 were not, well, sorry, games 3 was close, games 2 was not, sorry, games Oh my God! Games 3 was not close.
Just name the
in
map.
RMC favors. Dignitas won game 2 4-0, and then games 1 and 4 were incredibly close at 1-2. Thank you, Brain.
There we go. We got it. Yes. But just to remind everybody who's coming in, I'm getting a lot of questions from the YouTube chat as well. This is the Shift Summer League $20,000 pro level tournament for North America and Europe. Obviously, to the North American side. This is the OG team stream. It's the final 2 rounds of the entirety of this league play. We've been doing this for 3 weeks, and right now we are on the edge of playoffs. We're fighting off against Dignitas. So they got Poeb next round, and we have Gen.G, big bad Gen.G. And oddly enough, after that series from G2, I can see the vision from us, and I'm interested to see how the next round is going to go against them.
The thing is that games 1 to 3, I mean, those were greatly played games, except for obviously the bit of a flub goal at the end of game 3. But it's not as if they were blowouts. It's not as if they weren't really competitive, especially to a team of the G2's caliber. And if Gen.G, they're, I'm not saying they're struggling, but I don't think they're at the peak performance that we're usually used to. And considering our record with Gen.G, at least in the past couple months, has been decent, I'm not going to say anything. I'll let the gods decide. Let the Rocket League gods decide.
Yeah, and speaking of letting them decide, I also am wondering whether or not we actually have to wait for too long for the next round. Currently incorrect, I believe, and SSG are still in game. I'm going to the Cheap Beef stream, and they finished.
20 on Wikipedia.
So seems like they're done by now. So typically every game starts on the hour, but since we are all done, we will likely be starting faster than that. Historically, I've been told from the peoples that the next rounds tend to be sped up so long as everyone is on the same page. They just don't want to obviously start a game and then everyone else is still finishing up and reporting their other games, because that just ruins the schedule for everyone.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we do start a bit earlier, because I don't want any of these teams to kind of get like iced out. I think we want to see these teams on their best day. That being said, I mean, Poab is coming off a decent win, so I think especially for them to like go right into it with Dignitas might be a good state of affairs. I think for OG, they just definitely want the rebound, and they want to be able to show Gen.G kind of what they were able to do against G2.
Yes, and so with that said, I believe we are still waiting confirmation on whether or not we will actually be able to start a little bit earlier. But other than that, I mean, decent first series against G2. We started off with a game 1 win. Honestly, something that doesn't happen a lot. OG for some reason hates game 1s. We just don't start off well enough to be able to get those goals. But this time we did so, and I think that's all that matters. So again, we just have to outperform Dig. Dig has the exact same record, so pretty much just have to do better than them in these same or better than them in these final 2 series, which I think is totally possible. Gen.G coming up next. I think we're going to throw you guys to a brief break. We should be back pretty soon with our next match, as Shift tends to move up the schedule. We'll stay informed with you through the chat, so don't go anywhere. More OG team stream. Round number 2 of the last day of league play here. Gen.G OG after this break.
broken. This feels a little too perfect how we are now. You think I throw a little caution, but I don't want this to change. Been waiting too long for a moment like this. Said that you won't leave, better off with me. The kind of feeling I can't explain. Like how it feels drenched in the moonlight. Like how it feels under the stars. A step out of bounds with our own plight. A push towards the peace in the hearts. If it rains down all on us, drown out the noise, and I'll trust the mirror, mirror on the wall. Is it fair to watch me fall? Broken up in pieces. Can you see me bleeding? Mirror, mirror, tell me please, if these broken memories are enough to break free. Will it fix us slowly? Each day I'm moving along with what fits best for taking me forward and back. It all I know still leads right through to the start of the end, where the past can't chase us. You should stay for a while, disregard all the masks. If it's you and I, will be okay. Like how it feels drenched in the moonlight. Like how it feels under the stars. A step out of bounds with our own plight. A push towards the peace in the hearts. If it rains down all on us, drown out the noise, and I'll trust the mirror, mirror on the wall. Is it fair to watch me fall? Broken up in pieces. Can you see me bleeding? Mirror, mirror, tell me please, if these broken memories are enough to break free. Will it fix us slowly? Will it fix us? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Is it fair to watch me fall? Broken up in pieces. Can you see me bleeding? Mirror, mirror, tell me please, if these broken memories are enough to break free. Will it fix us slowly? Mirror on the wall. Is it fair to watch me fall? Broken up in pieces. Can you see me bleeding? Mirror, mirror, tell me please, if these broken memories are enough to break free. Will it fix us slowly? Way too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Not that you're I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Laying on my floor thinking about all the things that we've been through. From 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. I can't seem to move. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to.
We're back once again. I did not lie to you, and it's going to be a little bit early. It's Gen.G and OG for the second match of today, the second last match of league play for both these teams, and still obviously playoffs on the line for us. And it looks like the test lobby has been approved, so we should be into things pretty smoothly. Seb, you're still with me, and unfortunately, game one, or series one rather, against G2 didn't quite go our way.
Nope. No, it didn't. No,
And
it did
that's
not
it.
go.
Good analysis.
It did not. No, listen. I don't want. I'm not sure I want to relive the pain. You know what I mean? And it was very much. It was in our hands. We had every opportunity to. I think Nolly was literally a pixel or an Unreal unit away from getting the touch to be able to score it, which would have done it. And even then, it almost went through. And if we had literally one more second, there was Rocket League is the game of slimmest of margins, and that was the perfect moment to represent that.
Yes, and so now we have to see whether or not we can get a little bit closer to victory against Gen.G. Again, we were just trying to outperform Dignitas on the day, so this is yet another test to see really what we're made of. Gen.G and OG, game number one, getting underway here. And honestly, the last time we played Gen.G, they played us real well, but Gen.G has just had a roller coaster within Summer Series. They've been swept by randoms, they've been getting really struggle bus wins, and then other days they'll just be 3-0 sweeping people, so you just never know what to expect anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting. It kind of reminded me a lot of when Casey was in Europe, was struggling a little bit in Swiss stages and stuff like that, where like they were getting beat by these random kind of teams who, by now, are like doing pretty good. I think Sup is 100% is a very good example of that, and Sup. But it's now, I think that's kind of what everyone has to expect. Noli with the floater will be able to open this up, and this is what we can expect.
Yeah, Gen.G getting a little drifted out there. First kill and only Appjack are back with the boost, and right there, and Appjack's turning away. First kill is on near, and they're probably like, oh wait, someone else needed to really get on that one, and Noli is able to put it away against this older team. And definitely, I feel like that's part of the irritation of playing Gen.G, is Noli playing against your former team. I don't think is ever easy, but particularly in a narrative in which a lot of people on social media are basically saying, well, this isn't necessarily you trade away a player, sometimes you replace a player, and that can't be good for the ego.
No, not at all. That being said, OG not letting up thus far. The amount of aggression we're seeing is so much different compared to what we saw in the G2 series. FK having to die for this one, as well as a demo just to get OG off their backs.
Chronic is taking his time on that catch. I wasn't really doubting he would get it, but I was wondering whether or not he's going to try to dribble it straight on up. But no, he does get the catch, not really doing much more to get past JNaps. That's first killer's job, apparently. High flick yet again. Noli will get called off and then get a bump there, as I think everyone was trusting each other, but did not expect a chase down on the backboard.
Yeah, this chase down again with Gen.G being as aggressive as they can be. I mean, first killer, it will fall on him to be able to open up the offense here for Gen.G. That was a great start. So a minute and a half into this game, we are tied. Both teams showing good presence.
And wanting to mount the pressure on offense, and sometimes that's how well you can be able to provide a play, and it's why it's one of my favorite things of players when they do get their first touch and their play seems to be over, but then they are able to make themselves viable, even just by driving near the defenders, making sure they hesitate just a little bit. Speaking of, Appjack going up for this one. Whoa. Not able to get over top of it, so first killer is going to launch one at target, light tap to the side from OG, making sure it's out of danger.
I don't know if you saw it, but that like falling 50 from Noli was actually so nice. I don't know, like that was mildly satisfying just to see him get the literal perfect 50 while falling from the back wall defense. OG locking in, Noli playing the pass in midfield. JNaps looking for everything he possibly can to try and open things up. Calm, get the touch down. JNaps puts it just a touch too high, and Noli will stay back.
Somehow that one is able to fit all the way through. Poor JNaps is getting chased down by first killer and yet gets mind gamed into a clear, or at least I'd hope so. I don't think JNaps really intended that one, but either way, we'll go through. Pop over the top, Noli quickly puts that one to the sideline. First kill trying to do something more elaborate with it, and yet getting met with a fierce resistance on the near post from OG, and then some. How about the counterattack? JNaps, top shelf finish attempt off the bar. Noli tried to slot it. It's just off.
Again, just so incredibly close for OG. You can't ask for better opportunities. It's just these little moments, these little inches that fall by the wayside for OG and make them so painful to mentally recover from, as this one will slide on through. Appjack finds the hole.
Everyone trying to move on forward, but unfortunately Noli has no boost. JNaps trying to support, and poor Calm, he's still recovering. He actually turned back to the corner, I think expecting that both players calling, I'm sure, on the ball to get the 50, that someone was going to get a deflection, and that did not end up happening. Bit of a freebie from Gen.G as they had the field vision to see that nobody was back minding the shop.
Just a shame, considering, I would say, the first minute and a half of this game, we were playing to our strengths. We really were taking it to Gen.G at the utmost level. JNaps puts off the side wall. Noli leaves it. Calm, going to send it downfield. No boost in the tank for him, but he's going to be able to steal Gen.G's. JNaps will get a good 50 over one. This could be dangerous. Noli can't put it through. It hits the post once again.
It's insane how many times it's deflected, like a pixel wide of the goal, just being able to get the deflection from Gen.G's card, or rather we're putting it on target and it's just not able to really click on through. Speaking of, first kill's trying to go through the defense in the most literal of senses. He's really been kind of an enforcer. He's been kind of a tormentor. I think of first kill as a very mechanical player, but right now it seems like his job is just tap the ball and then get whoever's out of his way, or in his way, out of his way.
You say tormentor, and I immediately think of Obelisk Tormentor as apparently first killer bringing out the god cards here to put us down.
Obelisk Tormentor, as in like a Yu-Gi-Oh card?
Yes.
Good.
All right.
Well, because I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm like, that sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh reference, but I'm not sure if he's actually making that. I wasn't sure if you were making that reference, okay? We mentioned a lot of anime on this stream.
We're supposed to be understanding that reference.
Yes, that's true. And we'd also be able to understand that these men on the field are also quite old and experienced as they're trying to catch up to the spry Gen.G squad, and doesn't always work out. What a pass, though, by Calm with the booty off the ceiling. And, of course, just like all things against Gen.G, it hits their fourth defender.
Literally, someone check the VAR. Someone check the post's bank account, because at this point, it's a little sus. Chronic, flip reset, and can't get it over. As JNaps and the demos will come through, but at this point, it's done and dusted unless JNaps can find their mark here. JNaps can't get it through. And this will be game one for Gen.G, one that I am so very sure we want the run back for.
Yeah, that was a really nice offensive game from OG outside of just the final touches. And, of course, he sent the house. This is kind of a garbage time goal anyway. Gen.G just taking advantage of us trying to dive in, make something happen before the death. But that's something expected to happen. But I did not expect this type of game. Gen.G getting some kind of freebie goals, a little bit of some awkward ones off some bumps. But for us, it's like we had the chances. We just could not quite fit in between everybody. That might as well go in.
That's my goat. Oh, gosh, works for it as always. Perfect, calculated. This is Rocket League.
69 MPH, by the way. Nice, solid.
Nice.
An
nice.
excellent goal to be able to end it out. And honestly, that's just full momentum right there. That was just intimidation. Gen.G panicked. And of course, that's the only reason we scored. So still a decent amount of shots from both sides. Gen.G getting 3 more due to the highly simple math of Com not being able to get involved, playing a lot of a midfield role. And I don't really blame him considering Gen.G, very fast team and not a team that you want to have a lot of space to roam.
Yeah, again, when you give them so much space, and I think that's what OG was kind of excelling early game, is like they really were taking it to the goal line as much as possible. And to be fair, I think that with the amount of times where we could have had that opportunity, it's not like OG were doing a lot of things wrong. It was just the moment that off the post, OG not prepared, transition, goal. And that happened like 2 times. There's not much we can do about that.
Nice sip of the Red Bull here. Except apparently, I'm sorry, I'm just rubbing it in that I have this delicious Red Bull watermelon flavored red edition.
And you're still going. You're laughing. You're laughing at my misery.
I'm just saying it's a delicious way to, I would say stay hydrated, but caffeine definitely dehydrates you. So I would say stay caffeinated, and that's why I have this massive jug of water. And we also have other things to talk about, Seb. Stop talking about caffeine, all right? We're talking about this game. We're talking about game numero dos on Salty Shores, trying to see if we can get back at it.
Spanish?
Huh?
Was that French or Spanish?
Numero dos?
Oh, I thought you said dos, and I was like, that's French and Spanish.
I'm like, you speak French. I feel like you should know this.
That's why I was like, are you butchering my native language? I'm gonna be very offended. Anyway,
I would never even attempt to
do
French.
Go to game 2 here. OG wanting this run back. I can tell they're already mad. They're like, okay, we need this. Because Gen.G did not deserve, well, I can't say they didn't deserve it. They absolutely did deserve it. But in their eyes, I believe that's what they're thinking. Now Chronic in the waiting. Noli shot on and in, wanting that run back.
Nice little consistency from OG. Not only do we score the first goal twice in a row, but it is Noli both times. That's solid placement. Appjack had seemingly everything covered except for that backest of posts. 30 seconds in, and that's a nice run back to be able to get us started and be able to continue our streak of goals as we had the momentum going into this game 2.
Well, I mean, if by momentum you mean the flukiest 15 of the life, sure, I get it.
Doesn't matter, still counts.
We take this. I know, like, it's down, calm. Getting the angle to put it up high, double commit on the back wall. Just kidding, Noli actually having the patience and very smart with it. JNAP's getting a good catch as well. Can he get it around FK? No. Noli keeps it in the orange half. 4 minutes on, and JNAP's will be there in the waiting, but calm. As passive as ever.
As well as being able to fake that one out. That's 2 players. If he had more boost, maybe a 50 on Chronic, but instead, it's going to be first kill trying to slow it down. Possession pass over to Chronic. Lead demo by Appjack, and that is so well worked by Gen.G.
Yeah. Team play came through. Demo came through so incredibly clean. Again, this infield pass, and already you see Appjack with Chronic, the duo, knew what they were going for. Com couldn't make much.
Agreed with GeoZig in chat. Cringe demo and lead blocker. Appjack, you're supposed to be the mechanical smart player, and instead you're just going bonk and just going head first into challenges. Either way, I forgive you. Just don't do it again.
I don't. Anyway, calm. Manoli. Coming off the corner here. Noli, no boost to speak of. FK goes in with no care in the world. Double commit though on the defensive end. If JNAPs can get a good 50, Appjack gonna play it patiently. Just wait for their chance to go for a strong transition. Noli flanks it down. Calm. First man looking for a demo. Can't get much. JNAPs goes in. Very wild. FK looking for a flip, and Noli will be able to get the challenge.
Appjack will unfortunately give that one away as JNAPS is trying to angle that one the lightest, I think, possible down the line. Unfortunately, lean forward the last second. Not going to harm us, though. Noli should be able to have that catch. He will leave it, actually. So it got away from him, but Gen.G didn't predict this one. Calm to the back line. Looking for a bump, not finding it. Will have a demo on the back post, but I think by now, attack is mostly over. But for JNAPS, it's just begun. He's over one, trying to get the 50 on the second one. Can't land on FK. Another clear out to Calm.
Play the slow. Noli taking the mid boost. Actually going to play off the 50. Be able to catch this, keep that possession going. Right now, they're just playing this possession in the midfield, looking for these 50s until a mistake is made on the Gen.G side. But Abjack wants to put OG away. It will be saved by Calm. JNAPS looks to send it outfield. This could be a chance if anyone can get ahead of it. No.
Calm well met to be able to stop Chronic on that first aggression. Abjack trying to beat it out. And yet, will be interfered with. Calm forcing FK into a very awkward read. I think FK might have been able to lean back just to be able to avoid that one, but either way, now it's Chronic with a flip reset. Well read by JNAPS as well, shutting down FK. And now here comes Noli.
Noli, it's off the back wall. FK, good read on it. JNAPS dives for it anyway. Calm has to be careful. He is last man, especially as JNAPS and Noli are rotating back. Chronic, what? Chronic, over to Noli. Abjack gets bumped out of the way. FK, again, being that man to just clang it downfield and looks to give Gen.G as much possession as possible.
Now into the 1-2-3 passing. Calm trying to get it over to Noli. First go basically man marking that. Just kind of sitting back, waiting for that one to pop on through. As Calm will throw the middle, trying to throw off Gen.G, but First Killer was ready and waiting for it. Reset as always, locked on in. Bit of a heavy touch. Calm backflip save, making sure we stay all level.
Noli and JNAPS looking for that team pinch. JNAPS gonna stay on it as well. OG being able to handle what Gen.G is throwing at them, but they are slowly losing the grip as Gen.G get closer and closer. JNAPS gonna follow this up. Last minute remaining. The winner could be determined in this minute.
Calm with the ceiling pinch. Actually gonna find Noli in a pocket of space. Good for Abjack to be able to step up, make sure that is as far as it goes. But Noli with full boost. Calm looking for the bump of the backboard. Doesn't get Abjack, but he's still going for the bump on Chronic. He will be evaded.
Oh, JNAPS.
And now it's First Killer with a lot of boost. Calm trying to pre-jump him. He's trying to just slow things down, waiting for the help, and he doesn't need it. Another save out to the side. OG safe for now, but here comes Chronic. Nice 50 from Noli, or back across the midline.
OG had to play that for time so much, especially off that over-aggression from JNAPS, but Calm might be able to just put it low here. Noli tries to make it through. JNAPS rushing back, trying to be Chronic to the ball. It'll go off the back wall. Great 50 from Abjack, and a good bump on FK, but it might not matter. The last few seconds winding down. The last possession here for Gen.G. OG desperately puts it to the ground to push overtime.
Thank goodness that Gen.G was a little bit more fooled. They wanted to play passive. They didn't want to give away a counter. They did not know Calm and Noli had 0 boost in the tank. So instead, we play for OT. And Gen.G, they're so good off these kickoffs as they're all intensely mechanical players. Now we have to make sure we're not getting buried right off of this rip. That miss will help us, though, and Calm gladly takes his time.
All the time he needs. FK in the second touch. Noli. Dangerous, but Gen.G, one of those teams that has done as much work to the kickoff as OG has in terms of just rehearsing, practicing, and expanding the capabilities of the kickoff. Really come to work here. Chronic, look at the positioning from Gen.G. So aggressive on that goal line, straight into the blue half, no care.
And when they do take their time, you know that they can use it well. First Killer, of course, locking in the flip reset, getting the bump as well. That's why you have to stagger your defense. Noli knows it. Now so does JNAPS. Calm left alone. He's going to try to buy some time with that 50, but JNAPS is having to then back up again. It seems like everything that we're trying to improv not really working out. And yet, First Killers are going to still allow JNAPS to get that one open bump. And unfortunately, Noli, I don't think he realized just how open that shot could have been.
It's very rare that you see Gen.G give so much respect to JNAPS on that offensive end, but it was a very rare mistake that could have been disastrous. The demo will come through. Calm looking for as much as possible. JNAPS goes all the way. Flip reset for one. Noli straight down to Calm. Pass, shot, and in! OG take the game in overtime.
Look at the tap from JNAPS, forcing Abjack into a rough clear, and Noli plays that perfectly. You don't go through him, you don't go over him, you go just to the side where Calm is positioned. A classic OG dub. And we are all tied here for the second series of the night.
Classic.
Classic.
We thought Gen.G, I mean, listen, the fact that we're able to come back from the G2 series, bring it to Gen.G. And again, looking at the bigger picture with Dignitas being our main opponent, this is so incredibly important as we see the OGs in the chat. Dream OG, baby.
As a reminder for everybody on the Twitch chat, OG logo, if you would like to spam or be able to show your support, is a follower emote. So if you do follow the channel, you do have access to that emote. So spam it loud and proud. Definitely helps the boys, I am sure, even though I'm not sure if they're reading chat. I know they occasionally come in and they might keep it on the side, but for the most part, they're focused, they're locking in. They know you have their backs, and we also have them in the booth here. It feels like we have Gen.G almost where we want them. Maybe we can figure them out here in game 3. So we're loading up, seeing if we can take the lead and be able to move in further than that.
It just felt as if the pressure that Gen.G had to offer just frankly wasn't good enough. It didn't feel like they were working cohesively as a unit, besides a couple goals in game 1. Noli looking for the 50. And thus far, I mean, OG, we've been able to kind of stick with our trademark and just low boost defense that's so incredibly efficient. And Noli gonna put this shot on for the early lead.
Third straight game, first goal within the first minute, and it's by Noli. Man is just locked in, but I gotta say, JNAPS, what a clever touch to get past that first defender.
Yeah, I mean, JNAP's on the offense, getting better and better, and especially as Gen.G just gives more respect and more space to him. That's literally the opposite thing you want to do. You do not want to give space to this man because he will make you hurt for it.
Now being able to keep Gen.G at bay, that's really more than half the battle, I feel like. Very few teams can actually realistically do that. Albeit, this is not RLCS, where it seems like Gen.G always seems to lock in. This is just the classic Shift Summer League shenanigans. So can OG keep things going? Seems like Noli is trying his best in the midfield, but the thing is, you don't have the immediate follow through. JNAPS will eventually provide it, and Noli will give him that backup.
Chronic. Why do I keep saying Chrono got an accident? I don't know why.
Chrono Trigger?
I think that's what I'm thinking of because I was listening to some like Dragon Ball music today. Anyway, Noli puts it downfield. FK planks it back. OG finding their mark. Shot on. Straight down to Noli. Oh, that would have been a beauty. JNAPS will clean it up. OG, they have the plot.
If they actually scored that, that would have been the greatest play I've ever seen. But unfortunately, it just has to be a lame JNAPS finish. No, they all have the same. I'm still happy with it. I'm just saying it could have been so much cleaner. That would have been Shift 400 like tweet, you know?
Yeah. That would have been, wow, OG, actually a good team? Who would have guessed?
And then we just yell at them in the comments. Been like, always been, astronaut meme, always been good team.
Chronic looking for the transition, but whiffs. And I think this is where we're starting to see Gen.G just miss on the cleanliness a little bit. Noli even able to get the save as Appjack looks for the dime shot. Can't put it through. 320. Appjack even playing it passive, just giving it straight to OG. The possession going through straight back to the blue.
First kill, lay down. That's a lot of open space. Appjack knows it. That's why the speed flip immediately to close down that play. Maybe then extend the next offense. Not able to tap Noli. In fact, no one can. He's going to extend it all the way back down. Going to lose that 50, but no matter. Apps had him backed up. Now we got to make sure that we back up whoever's taking on FK. Calm is in there, and now so is Noli. Gen.G just can't quite get close enough for these follow-ups.
It's weird because I think like before when we saw Gen.G at their best, like they were playing it super aggressive, 3-man in the offensive zone, going for like synced up demos, 2 shots. I think they're just having a hard time setting it up. One, because frankly, like coming to the offensive path, they're not having the resources that they're used to. Noli, that is, someone shoot the ball! JNAPS, please, thank you. Okay, at least it's a start.
JNAPS did not have the build up to that. I think I've been there before where if you flip that, it's going to be too weak. So maybe you try to air dribble to get a 50, wait for a follow-up, and that was just a kind of rough positioning either way. But still going to keep that lead, going to burn off clock. And honestly, that's just as important in a series like this. JNAPS reads that pinch, able to take it past one, and then Appjack, nothing else to do. Nice 50 into Chronic, and yet Calm again there in time.
Good reads on the movement from OG, being able to just tell, being able to read. As far as Gen.G, they know where the shots are going to be coming from. They know where the passes are coming from. They know how exactly they're going to be able to react on these 50s that are coming through and just handling it just like bread and butter.
Appjack, nice 50 into the middle as Chronic really going to be playing with fire there. He has no boost. He's barely able to get away with it. So Appjack probably needed to help out, and yet no help will be provided. Naps, now down to Calm, fake underneath one. Chronic trying to be faked, but man plays a lot of more ones. You're going to have to try a little harder, I guess, to get past him.
Chronic is struggling, but he's not struggling that much. Now Appjack, I'm going to rotate back as he goes over a defender. Demo for good measure. Appjack, great catch. Tries to get it around Calm. Won't be that easy. JNapps sends it downfield. This could be dangerous if Calm can get a good angle, a good off back wall. JNapps can't put it on target. And as FK looks for the clear or just Demo.
Gonna have Naps tap that one across. Calm will be able to chase down a Demo. It seemed like he was a little bit hesitant, but now he is full of conviction on that one, and it's opened things up for Noli to extend past one more. Appjack taking his time. He's going to get demoed, and that's the problem. You cannot hit the brakes.
If I ever saw a delete button in Rocket League, that is exactly what it looks like. 1 minute he's there, 1 minute Appjack is gone. The OG will take the 3-0 lead with 47. This game looking quite good for them.
This very much feels like a moment from Appjack where he took that touch as Calm was approaching, and then he's like, what am I thinking? It's Calm. And then he got demoed. Like, in that moment, he was probably just like, why did I think that this would ever work out in my favor? He 100% is just going to ignore the ball and then take me out. Maybe Gen.G can ignore everything and just get the goal and maybe focus just on building this lead back one at a time, but it's not going to be that easy. Final 30 seconds, they're still looking for their first one, and they are looking imprecise. First kill, a rare miss off the ceiling.
All right, JNapps trying to get the pre-jump on FK and actually nails it. This is Gen.G getting read like a Times best-selling novel here with 10 seconds left. OG have done the work in this game and will move on to series point here against Gen.G.
Really solid game in every single way from OG, and this is really what we're waiting for. OG at times, you know, shout out Torment, they do dial in the strategy sometimes, and Gen.G, despite being arguably the only team that could really stand with G2 in RLCS regionals at times, is still a team that we can take down in convincing fashion. Thing is, one game does not make a series. We still have to make sure we close this one out, but certainly giving Chrome on the side of Gen.G a lot to think about in his teams in the comms.
I'm just looking at this point differential as well. I mean, like in past seasons, we would have like clowned people for getting 88 points. Like I do recall, I can't remember who it was, but someone did get clowned for like literally having less than 100 points by the end of a 5-minute game.
Yes.
Calm is an exception. He actually was a very, very pivotal part
Yes.
to that defense here for OG. So we will be going to a series point. I want to point out that while we are going to series point, Poab currently have a 2-game lead right now on Dignitas. Things are looking good for the OG boys.
Now, of course, it's just finishing strong here. And right off the bat, we are going to see Calm immediately reduced to rubble. Appjack not able to do too much with it. However, slow play sometimes just as effective. Last-second save. Make sure we're no early one going in, at least yet, from Gen.G. First killer trying to play slow, and you got to wake up pretty early going past JNapps like that.
And that's why playing these rotations is so important to all of you who are playing ranked, because if JNapps had cut early trying to go for that, he would have been beat to the ball and there would have been no defender, but he took the wide approach, and in this case, Calm can't get there in time. Chronic will be able to get the early goal here.
And Chronic will be able to extend that one out, get the goal. That's a solid touch through, especially in a game as crucial as this. Just an update for everybody, as of course I get some questions from time to time about where we are at here in the Shift Summer League. We are currently situated in the second, or rather match point obviously in this one, but this is the second match of the day, second last one in all of league play. So this is the 17th match for Gen.G and for OG, and we're just trying to figure this out to finalize playoffs. Gen.G should more or less be secure in that game as they're trying to get in this one, as we're still fighting for that playoff spot.
All right, whoever said, okay, can we just not let it go to game 5? Ban that guy. Thank you. All right. 2-0 for Gen.G at the moment, and OG look a little bit flustered. They're making a bit more mistakes at the moment. I'm seeing a bit more double commits coming through, especially on the defensive end. FK doing a good job. Great read. JNapps will put it over him. Noli looking to keep the possession. Calm waiting. Appjack, cleanest touch. JNapps doesn't care, goes for the cut and forces it to be challenged.
We'll see JNapps take it all the way back down, and that's a solid first touch, getting it past one. Problem is Chronic was patiently waiting in the backfield. Comment to dodge a demo. First killer doesn't get it, and yet the disruption does well to at least throw Calm off kilter. Noli should be able to get there in time, and Double commit potentially leads to a counter over Appjack. Still speedy enough to get in front and gets the back pass as well.
Calm just used like all of his boost, not only trying to chase the ball, but chase the demo, and it's very scary, especially Noli. He'll go looking for the read in the midfield. JNABs, can you clean it up? It'll go off of Chronic. Noli keeping it in play. Calm playing it passive. JNABs trying to make it easier for him, but again, Calm just being as patient as he possibly can.
Naps over the top first skill. I was a little bit worried that he was going to be taking way too much time to get back, and now he's taking a lot of time to gather it, which means Noli, of course, going to take him out. That's an OG special. Appjack, we got to make sure no JNAP special to be served up. And Gen.G looks a lot more aggressive on these reads, not allowing OG to really cook up anything. As soon as they slow down, they're on it.
I mean, these touches are just incredibly efficient right now. Just strong clears the moment they get to the orange half and immediately rotates back into the offensive end. JNAPs will try and play underneath. Actually plays that quite well. It could have been very dangerous. First killer. Second. Half a game remaining. OG. This is in their hands.
Halftime has now come and gone. So now it's on OG to try to pull out a 2-minute clinic. Noli hasn't scored with first within this game, but he might have been able to set up the assist if only JNAPs could find an avenue through the defense. Wonderful double tap from Appjack as well, getting right on top of it, nearly going coast to coast.
JNAPs good positioning though. Could have slotted through. Calm can't beat FK to the ball. Chronic down to Appjack. Double commit from OG. Calm needs to get up to it or else FK is going to beat him there. Chronic, can he get the angle? No. As this one will be saved, but just barely.
Zero boost, just launches it instead as I think he saw that near post was open temporarily. Chronic was able to shut the door somewhat on that. But can they shut it on this? JNAPs, it's a crazy read. I think trying to lob that one, just keeping it somewhat more central. Unfortunately, not going to work. Gen.G seemingly has answers for everything OG's trying to throw out. JNAPs, he need to prevent this one, and he does. How about first kill and the follow through? Also going to be met by JNAPs on the wave dash and the follow through.
Look at those wall dashes from JNAPs. I see you, Jacob. Working on the mechs, you. Yeah. Just would love to see some goals. Not only going to put this one on, but it will be saved as that will be an open net for Gen.G.
And that one is somewhat inevitable. Poor Calm. I actually see the exact idea he's going for. I think JNAPs is going up, but then they forced a demo attempt, I believe by Appjack there, is what forces that turn away and then the open clear down. That is the downside I've noticed of OG's really pass-heavy kind of layoff offense, is that when you do have it connect, it's really hard to prevent, but the moment you hesitate a little bit, sometimes you kind of just serve up a layup for your other opponent.
Calm. Playing it super aggressive. JNAPs looking for the second touch. Calm. Great pass over to Noli to at least give us a chance in this game.
Hey, there we go. And that's one more. Poor first killer. He's just kind of left adrift on that one, but I don't think they're going to be too worried. 2 goals in 50 seconds for a defense like how Gen.G is playing. Shouldn't be too worrisome, but OG always has something weird on kickoffs. He's trying to do something more ordinary there, and unfortunately that deflection means Calm just has to throw that one all the way down for JNAPs on the catch with the reset. That does get past one. FK ready and waiting.
I'm looking for a Titanic collapse from Gen.G right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm eating my veggies, my vegetables, and my broccoli.
Oh,
and a pass and a shot over to Noli gives us a chance.
Applejack, no, not like this. Man was going really far out in that near post, trying to get pads, and then he does not have the read. Can't say the same about Noli. Might have been skipped out the score sheet earlier, but he has been averaging at least a goal a game throughout the rest of this series. Now, we just got to do it one more time. There's the fake kickoff. Doesn't work out. Well wide, though. So Calm would be able to have an open air dribble, which he will take his time on. Doesn't want to waste his boost off the back wall. JNAPs, deflection into the ceiling. Cook. Noli able to have that boost, but he has to wait for first killer. Calm has the cut there. Tap down. Noli already in the pre-jump. Is this the double? The finish going to be saved by Chronic. Calm, open shot deflected by Appjack. And Chronic will get the circumvented touch. Calm looking downfield. Off the bounce. What? Seb, what did we just witness?
An absolute masterpiece. Master Chef, the cook, came through. 0-second goal to force this overtime for the series.
I just scared my cat. They ran out of the room.
They can't handle the heat.
Gen.G can't either. So let's see if they get out of the kitchen. OG as we said, looking for a collapse. And I don't know if we got that, but we certainly got OG starting to pop off. That's 3 unanswered. 4 will end the series. Noli, perfect catch over 1. Flip reset in the bag. Uses it late. There's a pre-jump. And now we just got to make sure there's no counterattack. Good job by Calm policing that.
Noli and JNAP's going to collect the boost. That's a bad 50, but Noli will be able to keep it in the midfield. First killer. Over to Calm. JNAP's going to scoop from underneath. Leaves it for Calm, actually. If he can get underneath or at least force a good 50, this could give a lot of time for OG to find their positioning.
Naps on the sidewall, sending it real high. Chronic should have no problem with this one. Thing is, first killer, going to have to really throw that one away. Pass down to Appjack on near post will be saved, and actually just awkward enough that everyone has to back up. Appjack on the pre-jump. Going to be read by J-Naps. Another deflection for Gen.G. They're trying to keep it away from OG, but not able to really master these angles. Nice clear of the top and a bump on Chronic. Means Appjack has to go all the way back.
Yeah, I saw the future, and it said Calm was going to get demoed, but thankfully, Calm playing it patient. FK plays it high. Appjack collecting. And the angles Gen.G they're going for a lot of cross pitch angles at the moment. Just trying to just confuse the defensive rotation and force OG to stretch themselves thin to make these challenges. Appjack still goes for it. This is so dangerous right now for OG.
And then they went for the demo where there was no shot available. Gen.G tried to make both happen, and sometimes you got to choose something between passivity and that aggression. Calm getting another save out, and they're all waiting for him as he will be able to get that ground pinch. JNAP's trying to shut down first killer. He reads that one wrong, which means FK might be able to march on through. Off corner, Naps another extension to the side. Pace kind of waxing and waning as this one keeps going on. No one really sure what they want to commit to. Noli will at least commit to a double tap off the ceiling, but that's just about it.
I like the idea from Calm, though, trying to go in the for the demo on the defender. FK playing as aggressive as ever, looking for the boost. He doesn't get it, so he's going to go for the bump on Calm instead. Appjack playing it patient. 2v1 right now. Appjack looks for the clear. Half a game gone by in this overtime, which is so incredibly tense. Noli just going to go for the shot, maybe, but it will be saved.
Jab's trying to take it to the corner. Does Calm have the read? He will, in fact, get the fake as well. Delayed flick means first kill will be a little bit hesitant on this one. Noli double does not have that. Calm will extend. All these awkward touches, forcing Gen.G using a lot of boost. Problem is, FK, he's on it, and Noli reads the underneath touch there. FK really going for the fake and just not able to make it work. Granted, it's not like we're doing much better. Sometimes a little bit more panicked than I would like. Noli needs a 50, and FK just too strong.
Too strong. And we saw it here, just the efficiency and the boost usage from Gen.G forcing OG into these uncomfortable challenges. So despite the 0-second goal, we will be going to a game 5.
Gosh, that was 3 goals in just about, I believe, 57 seconds, I believe, based on how fast we got that to go. But yes, it is still playing against Gen.G. A lot of shots, though, and honestly, I mean, filled me with some good confidence. I mean, these games are close. It took Gen.G boost starving us for about 45 straight seconds for them to finally take that dub.
Exactly. I mean, so much of that overtime was in Gen.G's favor, but OG was able to hold on by just a thread so many times, forcing Gen.G to really stretch themselves if they wanted a chance at this game. This was an incredible performance from both teams, but job's not finished yet. Job is not finished yet. We're going to game 5. And this one is where a lot of it kind of comes down, because not only have Dignitas lost, but now our fate is in our hands as we go to game 5 here against Gen.G.
And already, based on game differential, we are expanding our reign over Dignitas for that playoff position. Apparently, Poab 3-0ing Dignitas in their series. Unfortunately, Dignitas really having a fall off. They had probably 2 games, or really 2 play dates, I would say, within the first week of league play where they were just looking on fire, like next level skill with Zenil in the roster. And then since then, just really has not clicked. It's really a tragedy. If not for our 0-3 day, we probably would be able to put a lot more distance between them. But at the very least, I would like to make sure we certify all of these situations, especially against Gen.G. But unfortunately, it's going to be FK striking first.
Yeah, that's cringe. It's really cringe, guys. No, that was a good shot. That was just good old fundamental ones play right there from first killer. Not much you could do. So, OG will be working from behind in this game 5.
We'll see JNAP sending that one all the way back across, and FK slowly starting to wake up. I think you can tell the man is not okay with losing any games. Definitely a player that would rather die than drop any singular series. Noli trying to curve around this one. Naps also getting a 50. First skill diving in on this one, and he's always central to these plays. Not able to catch up to Calm, though, is now with the boost advantage. Can we get in the middle? Nice prediction by Chronic.
I thought we booted the fourth man from the server. Gen.G can't benefit from these crossbar plays so much. Calm, gonna put a shot. He'll go incredibly high, but I think it was just to keep possession as Noli will be able to collect more boost. Pass down, goes for the doink shot. It's still dangerous though. JNAPS able to get somewhat of a clear. Actually, that's a redirect shot, but it will be saved by Appjack.
Problem is right at to Calm again. He has to put it high to try to bait out Chronic. It does not work. Appjack gets partly a deflection. JNAPS gets more. Noli trying to put that back in the corner, baiting out Gen.G, but they're doing well to cycle through on these miniature rotations. Noli up and over. FK again right in the thick of it.
Yeah, accuracy right now is a bit of a struggle for OG. No matter how much they try and keep the possession, they're putting these shots on, but you gotta find the mark. Been a bit high, a little too many times. They're finding their opportunities. They're creating these chances for themselves. Calm, a little bit ambitious with that challenge. Noli in the waiting. Two-man going deep in for Gen.G. Possession will go back in OG's favor as Noli looks for something. Flip reset. Pass. JNAP's going to play it super aggressive. Calm looking for a shot, but it will be saved.
And what a bump by JNAPS. That was a wide open goal. Just beckoning for Appjack, and then he got just a little bit of interference from his back bumper. Exactly what you're looking for. Clutch plays by JNAPS to be able to keep OG in it now. Potentially with a pass setup. He just went for the ball instead, and Appjack just straight lined it, not really caring where that ball was going next.
Yeah, boost over ball. JNAPS will take the boost. Half a game remaining. OG looking for their chance one more time to force this to a tie game in Game 5. All eyes right now on this series as Noli will send it downfield and look for another chance.
Wide open, Noli downfield. He's lurking. He's picking cherries, and it is a harvest that is bountiful enough for a 1-1 game. Gen.G just full sending in the midfield.
Yeah, I thought Noli was going to instantly rotate back, especially because that 50 didn't really look too great, but he was able to stay in position and be able to tie this game. OG have a chance.
Now even more so, JNAP's moving forward. He's going to get demoed. Somewhat of a blessing. He's out of boost anyway with nothing to grab in the corner. And now he is back into the rotation. The one thing I am getting a little anxious about playing Gen.G is they're really trying to monopolize the boost in all four corners of the field. OG really can't get trapped down in their corners for too long. So all of these little escapes that we get are incredibly crucial, forcing Appjack all the way back to his corner as a start.
Noli plays off the wall. Really have the boost to make it work. I like the idea from Gen.G. They were doing a decent job of just trying to force this awkward of 50 as possible. Calm in the waiting. Full tank. Tries to play it over FK. Plays underneath the flip. The pressure will come through for OG, but it's just a touch wide.
We'll have another one in the middle for FK. Well over everybody, and that's going to be a read. He can definitely put on target. The pass instead to Appjack will be found. Poor Noli put in almost a no-win situation.
Oh gosh, I feel pain. Oh, my heart, it feels pain. Appjack though, great pass over to him from FK. A minute remaining. OG, you did it once before under high pressure. You can do it again.
We had a 3-goal comeback in Game 4, unfortunately falling in OT. Now just trying to make sure it is only one, but it is a high-pressure one. First killer denied. And now Calm trying to make sure they're not wasting any touches. Force Sapjack into a light touch. Now a 50 boost should be able to get it past Chronic. Bumped up, first killer. Quickly up, JNAPS though. A double tap from an angle. Noli with the crash, and there we are, 2-2.
And I thought that when Calm played this, I was like, okay, this is a little slow, but JNAPS, the hero, comes in for the brilliant pass over to Noli. We're going tit for tat.
And again, we will try to go back and forth. It is going to be a classic, it seems, between Gen.G here, with playoffs riding on this type of series for OG. And of course, Chronic trying to save his best for last as well. Sidewall double. Not going to find anything. First kill already up for this one. JNAP's read it early. He's going to fake challenge now. Trust Calm to get the 50 as he does.
absolute craziest ego challenge from FK, but that is what is required in these scenarios. When you have 20 seconds remaining, you're a tie game, you're in a game 5, you're trying to eliminate the likes of OG. FK gonna play from the ceiling, pass, it's over. Calm gets the save. Are we gonna see another overtime? But the last possession will be coming through for OG. Calm is ahead. Is there a shot?
Calm!
It looks dangerous. Calm will wrap it up. 0-second game 5 goal for OG.
See you later, Gen.G. Second match we play him in league play, and what a way to end it. They break our hearts in overtime of game 4, and we don't even need OT for the dub in game 5. OG Esports, what a series. How about that?
That is a classic if I've ever seen one for the Shift Summer League. And even though we have one series left to play, this leaves us in a great position. This was a phenomenal watch. Chat, we hope you enjoyed.
Whew. Oh my gosh, I can't.
That's crazy.
I am blown away the way that one ends. It's just such a classic moment. I mean, half of that just felt fine. I wanted to call out Appjack was alone in the midfield, and I'm like, well, he didn't get the 50. He did his job, but for Calm to just take it off Noli's hood just to extend that play out, that's insane. What a play by OG, but of course, hats off to Gen.G, always good opponent, incredibly talented squad, and that won't affect him too much. I believe Gen.G should pretty much be locked in for playoffs. I think they're fighting for seeding right now, and with that win and Dignitas's loss, that should guarantee us into playoffs for the Shift Summer League, at least within that 6th spot.
We'll have to see, because I think we'll need confirmation, but it might come down to how our 3rd match goes if we lose terribly, like if we get 3-0'd.
I think on game differential alone, we are already pretty clear. We will check again as we'll check again. Load over into the stats and load up this. But
don't ask me for math. But what a series, man! Like legitimately, if any of you missed any portion of that series, go back in the VOD, go watch it, because it is a treat. You have 2 0-second goals, you have 2 crazy overtimes. It is insane, and it looks like Liquipedia will confirm it. OG are through.
And so now we have guaranteed ourselves that spot. I think right now, honestly, we are potentially capable of leapfrogging Shopify Rebellion if they lose their series and we win their series. So they are actually finishing out league play with RMC, which is the best team in the league. So OG potentially might be able to dodge another date with the top-seeded team potentially in the lower bracket. So it will still remain in the lower bracket, but we are playing against Fun. So a sweep or something similar. And SR losing, I mean, they only have +2 on us in differential if we take a look right here. So that is actually 5th spot is kind of our new peak potential.
Sorry, I'm still kind of cooling down. Yeah, Shift Shift is in the chat confirming it. You're through to the playoffs. Woo! All the family is here. Thank you, Shift. I mean, listen, I know we have a lovely little rivalry here with Shopify, so I would love it if we leapfrogged past them. I think in the overall standings in terms of seeding, that'd be great. But it means that we have to beat, my good old Canadian boy talk to do it, which is a little sad. But it's fine. We take those.
But it's just
it's good old fun games, and
I'm actually still blown away that's
me too.
the way that ended. Second game 5. Oh my goodness. I feel bad. Bass has been here for a lot of heartbreakers. I don't think he get to see, I believe, 1 0-second goal, but we're missing out. We saved the best for last, I suppose. So huge fan of being able to make that happen. So GG's to Gen.G. I believe that will mostly solidify their place, I think, in 3rd or 4th. I actually think they might be playing SSG in this final round. No, they are playing against Incorrect instead. So still potential for some of these standings to move up a little bit, I would say. Unfortunately, Dignitas, Pirates and Bows, Incorrect, and Fun are all eliminated. So any fans of them tuning into the broadcast, you will not be able to see them in playoffs. OG will be able to slide their way through, and we'll just have to see just how far we can potentially go.
I mean, at this point, we've already made it. How far can we go? That is the big question. I think coming down to Fun, listen, I actually really like Fun as a team. They are incredibly fun. Pun very much intended. But I think this is just going to be a nice match between the two. The seeding is already, well, it's not determined. And at this point, OG, they're playing for the seeding. But this is going to be one where I think both teams are going to really have fun with it. They're going to really go all out, show us some mechs. I would love some highlights. Please, that'd be great. Get that stuff on Twitter. Honestly, we're nearing the end of the road. And for what has been an incredibly long but incredibly satisfying league play, I think a lot of the players are leaving this with their head up, held high. We've had such a good format. We've had so many good games that this format really has produced.
Yeah, despite the fact that EU sucks and all French orgs should burn because they didn't want to play because they didn't want to play in Shift Summer League because they unfortunately didn't want to play. Blah, blah, blah. So
it's not my words.
The NA side though. Super entertaining. I personally am kind of against the idea of league play, but this has reminded me why it is so fun to be able to watch.
Yeah.
A lot of drama. I love table formats. No one's going to debate the top team is the top team for any reason. And also we get to have brackets, so you have a little bit of that too. But of course, we have secured playoffs on the OG team stream. We still have one more series to see if we can get up even further if Shopify also struggles in their final game. So we'll be going to one last break. It will most likely be a game on pretty briefly, so you probably won't have to wait too long. Stay tuned for OG Esports against Fun to see if we can leapfrog Shopify Rebellion to go even further up the table prior to playoffs. Be right back.
In your eyes I see there's a place for me. Time runs me over, and I burn some thicker skin. Learn to be skeptical of those with good intention. Why is it hard to love without hurting anyone? Are we still young? Are we still young? Are we still
Welcome back one more time. In fact, the last time for the team stream. It is OG versus Fun, round 18 of league play. And if you guys are just joining us in this, OG has qualified after a Game 5 0-second dub against Gen.G. So we are very much going to be seeing in the playoffs happening next week. This one is just to see if we can leapfrog from 6th into 5th place, depending if we win this game against Fun and Shopify loses their match. So a decent amount of stakes still in this last one, even if it's against a team that is technically eliminated, Seb.
Yeah, I mean, even if they are eliminated, actually, hold on, before... Oh, no, we're off camp. Okay, that's fine. We're into game 1, as I was so close to playing out the Canada hat. You know, like, I realized that I found it in my luggage of moving and stuff, but then we went on camp, so it's okay. This is gonna be a good one. You know, I think that Fun impressed a lot of people by qualifying to this. I think Talk, especially, who is... Anyone who knows, I've been very high on this kid for a long time now. He is, in my opinion, like one of the best up-and-coming prospects that we have. One of the reasons I would say that Fun even qualified for this in general, and they've been able to take some decent wins here.
Yeah, let's not forget that Fun actually made their start in the Shift Summer League by 3-2ing SSG. That's a major qualified team that they beat them in Game 5. And it was not like a luck-based series. I remember watching back that VOD on shout out to the Beefster's channel, Chief Beef, for the SSG team stream, and he was straight up just like, damn, that seems good. It's like they really took it to us. So one of my favorite things about RL Esports at this point, it is not just pros infinitely better than everyone else. On any given day, the right team can win any series, and you gotta love it.
Yeah, no, it's really cool to see, and because of that, Talk has actually become like a pretty decently sized streamer right now. Like all organically, he's gotten like 100+ viewership, and it's really worked out in his favor. So kudos to him. Also helps that he's Canadian. Yippee! All right, JNaps in the other turn. Oh, look at this redirect as well from the OG side, trying to make the offense work and take it to Fun.
We will be seeing another slower play here from Noli as you see Fun kind of slowly getting funneled into the center of their field. So of course OG then changes it up. Tries to take the lightest of touches. And now we will see Talk try and lay that one down. Another flick high up above, Calm into the ceiling. Noli with a fake. JNap's trying to get that 50 straight down, and T-Corral, good job to be able to get around it.
Noli keeping in play. Xander. Talk goes up for it, gets a touch, beats JNaps. Calm, what a pinch. Xander there with the read, but it will be saved. Talk gonna play it patient, just go for the solo play. Talk plays it under JNaps. Noli sends it up high. It's Fun. Just trying to play around OG right now.
I would say Xander get the last second touch there. Xander, by the way, in case anyone is wondering, that is a player Nitrous It's a rebrand that they have recently gone through, so just be aware of that one for anyone who's aware. Former Northwood player as well within
I don't like
the
that
collegiate
rebrand,
sense.
to be honest.
I think it's kind of a cool name. I think it's kind of cool, but I also think Nitrous.
Hard.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I think Xander by itself is a cool name, but I also just think Nitrous is a cool name by itself. And I also think that's a cool save by Noli, able to wrap around this one, tap it on over. Fun having some interest in getting forward into offense, but fortunately now they are back into defense and not even going to get to that midfield. Nice dunk by Com.
I think Talk has to be careful of these really slow-moving solo plays, especially in your corner. When you have a very trigger-happy team as OG, where they won't hesitate to challenge every single possession, especially try and dunk you out of it. So this is going to be a hit off the back wall. Noli for another. Palm in the waiting, but he's going to have to back up. This could be dangerous. The shot's going to go through. JNAP's barely there in time.
Com able to get the first touch, not really what he was looking for fully. So instead, going to continue to ricochet around. Now a high lob into the ceiling. We will see another extension through as, I apologize, my HUD glitched out for a second as everyone just lost boost and name tags. But it seems like we're all back, and seems like just like this game, nothing too much flying off the handle. Seems mostly ordinary, but once the demos start coming in for OG, anything can happen.
Xander just try to be calm to the ball. JNAPS has to go up high for this to prevent any more possession from the likes. This demo, though, could be dangerous. If Noli can put it on, he does. OG breaks the 4-minute deadlock with a goal of his own.
And a nice little setup there as well. Com making sure Noli had all the time in the world. It's the finish, not going to win any awards, but if it's on target, that's really all that matters, of course, in the open net. As a reminder for everybody, this is the final match of league play for both these teams. Fun has been eliminated from playoff contention. OG has clinched it, but in order to get even higher, Shopify is playing against RMC, now currently the second place team based on head-to-head against G2 Esports in the Shift Summer League. If they lose enough, for example, if they lose in Game 5 and we win against Fun in Game 5, then there'll be a tiebreaker series. Other than that, if we can just 3-0 sweep and they lose maybe in a close contentious series enough, we actually might be able to pull ahead of them. So something that is going to have to be closely watched, and we'll just see how close we can get, especially as Fun, keeping it as hard as possible just to a 1-goal lead so far in Game 1.
Gosh, I love math. All right, Talk. JNAPS gonna just keep this lead as much as possible. I'm gonna just lob this down into the orange half. What they need to do, Talk, don't let this man cook too much, even with Xander on the board. This is going all the way. Talk puts it down to T-Corel. Great save from OG to save this game 1.
Decent effort as well from Fun, getting it all the way down to that goal line, praying for a 50. And honestly, if you don't play that right, that is definitely going into your net. So good job to be able to be clutch from OG. And really a task of a game, really just about saying, okay, how do we take care of this midfield? Only 6 shots for Fun, and actually outshooting OG, even though it seemed like OG was pressing forward more and more. Fun still had their opportunities, just not quite enough. So as we get into the rest of this game, maybe we'll see Fun adapt a little bit, as we mentioned, taking some pretty significant teams down. So despite this being a match that seems like it has no stakes on it, definitely something that we're still going to have to watch ourselves going into Game 2.
Yeah, again, like especially with how close it was, we didn't really see too much of the pop-off potential that we have from Fun. I mean, we didn't see insane individual mechanics. So I think a lot of it was just feeling out where OG were going to play. But also, OG did a really good job at just taking away the space, especially in the defensive half, and not giving, Talk and Xander a lot of that freedom to really operate in. Meanwhile, T-Corel was just kind of chilling, trying to be that third man.
So we will see whether or not that all comes to the adjustment now, as now Fun gets their first real open shot, and yet there is so much of the goal beckoning, and I feel like that was kind of the bait in from OG to be able to get that save away.
And immediately with the counterattack as well, Noli and this passive. That's a bad mistouch as well. JNAP's in an awkward spot. Perfect 50 though an even better touch from Xander. Keep that aggression going. Talk. Great 50 onto Com. He scores these if he can get around. Of course he does. But Noli scoops from underneath. Talk about the scoops. Scooping some ice cream. Because we're on Salty Shores. Get it?
Man, I would kill for ice cream right now. Not gonna lie.
Bro,
you'd activated a craving right there. Noli, top corner, not gonna make it. JNAP certainly will, as it's wide open. Everybody on Fun diving around. No one able to get in the way.
Perfect rebound from the Nova Scotian, and I don't mean talk. It will go to JNaps for the first goal in this game.
So we'll see how everything gets dictated on this next kickoff here, as OG looked like they were trying to bust something out, but instead it was just a regular slow play into the pre-jump from JNaps. Classic double tap, gonna wrap, actually not enough around it. Ran out of boost early on. That's the problem of a pre-jump. It's also trying to make sure you jump past the read. Noli almost letting up a howler.
Though. These two have played together a bunch, and in this case, Calm comes out on top again.
So we will see Calm able to get this delayed flick, almost kind of an Evo flick on this one. Poor Tikarel was decently in the way, but then Calm just completely reverses the shoulders and throws it back over.
All right, so we're back at it. Talk super aggressive in this offensive possession. Tikarel playing it slow, but she gets dunked out of the way. Tikarel's just had such a hard time thus far in this series. Calm will collect, get 50'd. JNaps keep the possession alive. Noli playing the sidewall. Actually, JNaps great touch as well, as Talk will take possession.
Talk able to flick that one high and then just get the extension as well. JNaps should be able to swoop on through. Tikarel just bothering enough. Shot back post. Calm also has the save. Xander with a brilliant pass back across, and that is showing Fun's true potential.
Yeah. Great pass, but also great shot. I mean, it would have been so easy for Talk to just want to clang this as hard as he could. And while it was quick, it definitely was slower. I think that really threw OG for a bit of a loop. So 2-1 here for OG, as Fun finally be able to get their first goal of the series.
JNaps a little bit slower, kind of waiting out Tikarel. Good job to get past two players. Xander should be fine, as he will get that first pre-flip into the catch. Calm straight down to JNaps, and that's an immediate counterattack. Xander, that's a laser on target. Wow. Luckily, Noli was back exactly in time.
Yeah, with no boost as well. I mean, that was all commitment from Noli and good positioning. Xander gonna put this off the back wall. OG with a good read on it. JNaps, awkward. Xander, shot on, shot low. We have a tie game.
Being able to get that one right before halftime, and this is a good setup by Talk. He baits in the first challenge by Calm really well, and even better, he's able to chuck that so far across. You have Noli sitting on the backboard, you have JNaps trying to patrol the middle, and he puts the one place where they can't quite reach it. Again, really nice field vision from the members of Fun, showing that can't be taken down our guard, playing it kind of lazy. Have to make sure we are attentive at all times, as they must be. Noli almost getting a pinch off the ceiling to go on target, and the follow through is easily going to be cleared.
Just wondering, can't really rest on our laurels right now, especially as Fun is starting to turn on the Jets a little bit against OG. Noli gonna leave for Calm. Calm, looks for the doink in return. Just almost getting this redirect all the way through. Almost being spicy for OG. Talk, playing this low, trying to play the 50, gets around one. OG will take possession back. JNaps, it over Xander, no boost, but deals with Tikarel fine. Calm. Gets great 50 from Tikarel.
We also have Xander be able to put that one back middle, and actually Talk does dive in on that. Unluckily for Tikarel, it's going to roll all the way back down. Unluckily for him, he is not going to get that touch, so he has to deal with a Noli 50. How about a Calm follow-up? Talk getting cyberbullied, or at least attempted to by Noli. Eventually will be caught. And yeah, OG with the deep rotation has to set up something else. How about a pre-jump from JNaps? Back post saved again.
Yeah, that possession was fantastic from OG, but also just the targeting from JNaps. The accuracy was on point. Good placement. Noli for another. JNaps just going to clang this on target, and it finds its mark. The placement for JNaps.
Able to, again, find the shot when it matters, right when everybody's scrambling. And that shot, one of my more favorite types of touches, where you have to thread that needle between defenders, everybody trying to get back in time. And you have someone on the back post, someone on the near post, but you don't have someone actually situated to be able to stop this one. Again, JNaps showing that precision when it matters, getting the lead, and hopefully something we can hold on to. Tikarel has other ideas. That's past one. Pitch off the ceiling, the back post. Talk trying to wrap around it, and he will get there in time.
The other Nova Scotian does answer back. We were waiting for him to pop off, and he does with a great angle.
And I do really like that play from T. Corral, bringing it into the ceiling. Typically, that's where your job is over. You have to pinch that one off the ceiling or be able to play for a 50, but instead he's able to kind of squeak that one into the open. I think that was the last thing OG was really anticipating. Good comms from Talk to be able to let him know that he was available for him if he needed an option. Fun continues to fight neck and neck here on Salty Shores for Game 2. And we'll have to see, really, if they're going to be running out of gas anytime soon, because it looks like OG, they're still creative. They're still trying to go off the ceiling as well. That's a leap to Noli. That's a double tap with a flip reset to boot. Filthy.
The mental coming in for OG. I mean, the fakes coming through. JNaps knew exactly what he was doing, and Noli, of course, all reliable here for OG.
It's something you can't just teach that. I mean, you just got to practice it. You just got to do it over and over and over. And that's really something that Noli's been trying to implement a lot more. Sometimes they flip reset double tap. You're kind of putting a hat in a hat. You know, you're overcomplicating things a bit. But for the most part, this is also something that really does work out super well. Other times, you can just bang out the big brain plays. JNaps threatening a demo. Noli taking it slow and steady.
Yeah, again, this pinch as well from JNaps just worked out so good as a pass. But Noli muscling it through. And does go to the gym. Now, 32 seconds. Fun. Starting to fall behind, and they're going to have to work even harder. They want a chance at this game. Especially with Xander. T-Corral in the waiting, getting the touch. This was so well played here from the Fun Boys.
Really do like the courage to set this one up. T. Corral still has so much to do on that. That is not an easy angle to hit, but he just has to know that that pass, if set up, it has to be between the sticks from about a 20-degree angle, maybe even less than that. And, of course, he's going to hit that one. Fun, really cranking everything together. The fake kickoff. And out of nowhere, the lob is going to catch Calm off. What is happening?
I think usually we have a decent... What? No! Oh, man. All right, laugh it up. Yuck, 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 yuck. All right, since we've thrown a lead again, let's try and settle this one here in 20 seconds. Okay, all right.
Well, right off the kickoff, Xander's going to fake that one, and now with 100 boost, oh boy, this is a lot of space for him to work with. He's going to get the early reset. Calm, able to read it in time. T. Corral, top corner shot. Save to the side. Calm. Does he want to take one more effort downfield? He will get a great frick up top. Be met by Talk. JNaps with the pre-flip. Thought there might have been a catch, but not enough time on the clock. We'll have to settle for overtime. A 10-goal affair that at minimum is going to have an 11th.
All right. Xander taking it. Fun. The best chance they've had thus far. As, of course, last goal will win. JNaps. Calm. Noli trying to get the defensive read. Xander, what a placement for him to secure Fun's first game in this series.
Oh, JNaps, that's such an unfortunate deflection. He actually got a decent read on that one, but unfortunately it taps it down and perfectly back into Xander. Still a lot to do there. Flawless finish, and if we were explaining before chat how important it is to not underestimate a single team in Summer Series, this is exactly why.
It's summer league.
Oh, right. Oh, man. I knew I was going to do it. I was so good today. I was so good today. No.
Okay. All right. Now, yeah, I would love to, as Vaudable says, I would love to see some defense. Wouldn't that be great? You know, defense, it's part of the game. Love it. So we are going to be, we switched back to Salty Shore. So we're going to be going to the correct map. But in the meantime, I mean, that was a pretty rough toss. I think that was very much our game.
Yeah, we are, despite the sounds you guys hear in the background, yeah, we are apparently switching the map. I guess it's in the rule set. I mean, I don't think anyone really cares if we play the same map again, but, you know, we're trying to keep things professional here in the Shift Summer League.
Yeah, there you go.
Not League. Yeah, Seb and I are also casting the collegiate CCA Summer Series. So the whole summer, I've just been like, summer, and then my brain's like, tick, 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 loading. I'm like, that's the word I need, league. There it is.
It's dial up, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's not fun. Neither is playing against Fun, because that last game was pretty brutal. 6 goals from them, and I will say, we had it. It looked clean, and then that just strange fake kickoff. One of the few times it really is truly backfired, I feel like, on us.
Yeah, because usually, again, like, OG is one of the teams that you will expect to have a very, like, regimented, well thought out and well executed kickoff regimen. And that was the one time where it's just like, it didn't come through. But we'll see if we can gain ourselves the lead in this series once again in this game 3 here against Fun.
Oh my
and
lord.
apparently T. Carell decided to roll back the years.
T. Carell, calm down, my man. Also, fire Fennec decal really standing out in the lobby, but at the same time, that's an equally impressive shot to be able to go on through. And 6 seconds in, if you're getting a score on, you know what? I'm not even mad at that.
Yeah, I think we have an epidemic right now in Rocket League. Oh, great flick. Calm immediately returns.
All right, so all we did is just lose 11 seconds. That's all I'm learning. But there's also a difficult flick here. This side flip, be able to just get underneath it. Poor Talk. He was caught right in the middle of when you have to turn around in the shadow defense. Very hard to be able to move backwards and still get the ball out.
Yeah, I'll just continue my point in saying I think we have an epidemic of Stocktanes and Stock Fenix right now in terms of decals, and I appreciate T. Carell for wanting to break the mold a little bit.
And on the other end of the continuum, you have Oath, who just designs some of the ugliest presets, or at least back in the day he used to when he was playing on teams like Vibrance, playing on a crew. He just had I remember having to cast him in a regional wearing tooth wheels. It's the wheels where
I recall.
Yeah, the axles of that are, or not the
awful.
axles, the spokes. What do you call the center of the wheel?
Their teeth.
Teeth?
You know.
Okay, it was just an eye, and then the tire was teeth. It was the most haunting preset every single time. It had to get zoomed in on. That's also going to be spooking everyone out. JNaps, I mean, you said T-Girl's rolling back the years. This is just vintage 2018 JNaps.
Yeah, I mean, just getting a perfect read off the corner and one that Fun really weren't expecting, but that is just good placement from JNaps as we get the lead one more time, earn ourselves the 2-1 scoreline, maybe another, but JNaps will keep in the midfield.
Naps throwing that one all the way back corner. Com was there, but so was T. Able to get the first touch. Noli, unfortunately, not able to get really anything other than that. He still lands on the wall close enough, which forces Talk into that giveaway. 30 boost. Can get the flip reset. JNaps no support, though. And unfortunately, T-Corral has plenty of it. A little handoff in the air for 2-2.
We just play our game, guys. Like, we're going, like, really high scoring right now, and the defense ain't looking great. So, T-Corral pokes the hole and wins off of it. 2-2 at the moment as we go to 341. OG just looking for the chance to extend the lead as we did in game 1.
Noli with a 50 down. Talk going to wrap that one all the way around from an angle. Needed a save.
Wow.
Com slowing that one down, but really that's all he has available to him. As Talk will try to dance past. That deflection will help. Noli with full boost, but he's a little bit late to it. Talk, I would say, is a little slow to that one, fortunately, and we will be able to escape.
Gonna go off the corner if anyone can capitalize. Com is there. He's in 50 with T. Carell. Noli gonna go all the way back. T. Carell, excuse me, Talk, able to get the flip reset catch. The mechs on this kid are legitimately insane. JNaps going for the clear, going for the shot in, but the possession will be given away as Fun go on the counterattack.
JNaps another roller back across. T-Corral will be able to be hounded somewhat, but escaping the nipping at his heels from JNaps. Also being able to almost walk it all the way back down. Fun definitely getting closer and closer, but not always being able to get that last line of defense. Speaking of, where was theirs? JNaps wide open, and he looks as surprised as anyone.
As Vaudable said, defense? Question mark? Xander, it just looks like positionally he was confused and didn't know where to play. T-Corral was just a bit too far behind. Half a game remaining. How high can we go, gentlemen?
I mean, last game we got a little treated there, obviously. We do have, at least for a massive amount of goals that came in, 11 in total, unfortunately favoring Fun in that last one, so maybe we'll be able to reach that again. At least in this one, we're on pace for hitting 10.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't mind another 10. Yeah, but let's make it 11. Actually, let's make it 20. Actually, we'll go all LeBron, and we'll make it 81.
81 goals. I don't even know the pace that would have to be set there. That's like, at a certain point, that's like a goal every like 2 or 3 seconds. I don't know if we're quite at that point. I don't even know within a competitive match how high you could even get a goal realistically, unless you're just torching people.
This feels like a Sunless video that I swear he probably did something for. He had the most continuous match, if I remember correctly. Like the longest Rocket League match ever played, if I remember.
Yeah, it was something basically just to how long can you go until the server died. And I think the server actually beat them. I don't think it ever crashed in that, like,
Yeah,
multiple, like,
it was
tens
way
of
too
hours
much.
or something.
Shout out Psionic servers. Anyway,
Yeah.
back to it. Xander sending it all the way, but will be blocked away by Calm.
JNAPS, nice shot to the back post. Talk will be able to get the first catch. Nova Scotia on Nova Scotia action, as we like to see. Well, maybe hopefully more in high-level Rocket League is Talk.
Yeah,
getting the rare JNAPS tweet shout-out. A little endorsement after the Canada Day tournament where they were introduced to each other. And honestly, I mean, what a feeling that's got to be growing up watching him and then getting complimented by him on the Twitter.
Yeah, people forget, like, Talk is like 16 and JNAPS is 24, 25. So, you know, that would be a huge accomplishment, you know, especially coming up and growing into this, as that will be a shot double tap from Noli. Secure an even larger lead here.
We have heard from Tordad as the results come in. G2 getting a 3-0 over Dignitas. Poor Dignitas, they really had all of it to play for tonight, and just they could not capture it. But of course, I relate to that because OG has had days where they just couldn't really capture the game plan that they needed to execute on. So happens to the best of us, and right now it is in our best interest to make sure that we can kind of clean through the rest of this series. Already dropping a game, not ideal, but either way, fun, keeping it competitive, and at the end of the day, it is nice to see some series that are still have a decent entertainment value still. JNAP's getting another 50, and T-Corel trying to aggress from an angle, and he will succeed, as near post just didn't expect to be that quick.
At this point, I really, like, you know, like the Megamind meme where it's like question mark, right? Like I want to do like defense question mark. Like, I'll make it after this and post it on Twitter. 4-3 here for OG. It's looking quite, well, it was looking quite comfortable, but now as things start to heat up in the last winding seconds here, Fun are inching ever closer to tying the game again.
Oh,
Wow, man, I'm so good at my job.
You are so good, Seb. Honestly, flawless performance right there. We should frame that one, as unfortunately Noli will be just caught in between. And honestly, OG, I do feel like the weight is off their shoulders because they know they already qualified, but they're also playing like they just don't have anything to play for, but they do. This is very much so something we need to make sure we're not just giving away silly goals, and that feels like a highly unusual situation to play against. I suppose this is what happens when you scrim Gen.G weekly, but maybe you don't scrim Fun weekly. They're going to be surprising you a bit. Noli maybe trying to drop one more surprise right on their foreheads. Not going to be able to cram that throw in the near post. Overtime yet again.
Another one against Fun here. Noli plays the 50, but T-Corel comes out on top, especially as he plays from underneath. JNAPS forces it through. Actually going to go all the way. Noli redirect down to Cobb. Shot on, but JNAPS will look to keep the possession. Noli, no boost at all. Cobb puts it on. T-Corel, great read and be able to get the touch.
JNAP's wrapping that all the way around. What a pass down to Noli. I don't think he's going to be able to put that one between the sticks. Instead, T-Corel lobs that one high. Calm to the back post. T-Corel knew his position. He locked his tires right down and in, making sure that there was at least one goalie there. Now he needs to do it again. JNAP's flailing at it, I think playing off of T's touch, and likewise for his opponent.
Great demo. Xander, though, still in position. You force this possession all the way into the blue half. 45 into it. Talk goes up high. Straight it beats him to the ball. Xander shot. Looking for the second touch, but a good read from Noli.
Calm looking for the corner read. You know, can hit those off the near post. Going to be something JNAPS and Noli can read, but I don't mind the lack of over-aggression. They've dropped one game in a way that they are certainly not accustomed to. Now they got to make sure defense holds tough again. No need to bite off too much, especially when the attack has been pretty easy to flow into for OG. But again, I don't really blame them, as seems like progressively there are these moments where everybody on Fun full sends Calm out of boost. The flip last second touch will make T-Corel doubt that approach.
JNAP's just kind of buying his teammates some time. That's a great pass. Noli just puts it a bit short. Calm can't get the rebound. His Talk will be able to get the save. Xander demoing to give his teammates some room to breathe. Calm still in that first man, looking to get a bump. JNAP's will continue the possession underneath, but T-Corel will get the clear.
Noli lob down, and then will again push that one down line. Xander does not backflip that one, which is, I think is what we were waiting for. Noli now needs JNAPS. Waiting for a pass is Noli, but JNAPS decides against it. Maybe just doesn't want to get red across the middle. As we will continue to see these rotations. T-Corel, a good beat over the top from JNAPS, as Noli will try and carry out and does win a 50.
Xander will send it back to the orange half. Noli's going to be able to steal some boost, though, which could prove very beneficial. Yep, coming seconds here. Calm. Look at the second touch. Doesn't get it as Talk will scoop underneath. T-Corral, what a redirect from him. Coming in clutch is always as fun. Secure the lead to the series.
Oh my goodness, Calm.
What is happening?
He's going for the kill shot on that double tap, and Talk not only got the read, but got the best possible read. A clear that goes directly into the midfield. And after us dispatching Gen.G, we are somehow going to be playing fun, and they are just our match, it seems, on these close affairs.
All right, boys. Yeah, there's still a game to play, guys. I don't know if the monitors are off, but we're not clocked out yet. So let's lock in, buds. All right, and bring it home. All right, go team.
And break. That's really all I want. That's all I want to be able to hear. But yeah, it's been a weird one for sure. It's something hyper confusing to see, especially knowing how contentious we know these to be. So I would say expect within Game 4 OG to have a bit more of an organized play style, as we are kind of waiting for the result of other series as well. But like I said, we also need to play off of how Shopify is playing currently, thanks to Pause, Twitch mod, shout out. Currently, RMC up 2-1 against SR in the series, and now us down 2-1. We're going to at least start off Game 4 with a goal, rather.
Yeah, remember that we are competing directly with SR now. Dignitas is out as we are in playoffs, so right now we are just competing for seeding. As if we want to avoid playing the likes of, I imagine it'll be RMC first round, assuming that we go and play the first seed first. But with JNAPS, needing to beat Fun, a team we weren't expecting really to just struggle this much with Taco.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like I said, all these teams in this league are incredibly competitive with each other. And even though the record might not show it, Fun been able to take some impressive games off other teams to stay competitive. And honestly, in a league like this, no matter if you're a bubble team, if you're able to qualify into this, you are definitely among the very best that the continent has to offer for this NA league. So whether or not the series record is not necessarily that impressive, you're definitely going to have to actually work. There are no easy series, and I think OG is learning, hey, maybe we do need to turn it up just a little bit and need to sweat for just another 45 minutes on this last series because, again, that tiebreaker scenario is getting a bit more precarious as this continues.
Yeah, anyway, here's my pitch to bring back league play. Okay, because this is why. We get some teams be hot on some days against certain series and some against not. And it's the sheer consistency that rules the end of the day. So there's my TED Talk.
We also have 2 league play days, which I do kind of like because it wouldn't change too much from the RLCS schedule. In fact, it would kind of decrease the broadcast stage, which would be probably the biggest issue with that format as JNAP's going for that shot. I do like the double round robin, though. I feel like the single round robin, aka you just play everyone once in old league play, was kind of boring because you don't get any narratives off that. You just like, oh, you lost. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, and also, I mean, frankly, it was just you had teams that would qualify off of, 7 or 8 wins, right? Like, this way, we actually have players who are, getting familiar with each other's play styles, getting more experience against top teams, and I think it's why we're seeing, some surprise. Oh, what a bump. And what a save from OG to keep themselves alive in this one.
Talk able to get around Calm. He was trying to pre-jump this one. Now Talk with a reset in the back pocket. I think tried to instead play for that 50. Either way, looks like OG will be able to survive, and now try to play some more possession here as JNAPS with a pre-jump pinch. Calm not taking any risks. We'll just follow that one to the sidewall.
But no, I'm very happy that we actually get to see, I think, some teams grow throughout the course of this. I mean, we saw Dignitas, they had their flash in the pan, and then unfortunately just couldn't hold out. And OG were just able to keep the consistency, were able to keep themselves in contention after a disastrous start.
Miller from the sidewall, able to somewhat slow things down. And same with JNAPS. Problem is Talk was also waiting for that tap forward. T-Corral back wall, immediately cleared back down. Fun trying to keep this one somewhat in the half. Problem is they're kind of doing this kind of jerky movement back and forth where they're not 100% sure if they want a full send or if they have to get back on defense. And I think OG's starting to catch up to that one. Granted, only 1-0, so can't really rely on this one being done and dusted yet. Maybe with a bump, though,
no,
and JNAPS the booty touch instead.
Dude, oh, man. It was so close. He just got in the way, but it was well played, though. Just like this here, off the post. Noli will be able to clean it up. Now, boys, listen.
Now, boys.
Hold this lead.
Oh, yeah.
For me, okay? For my mental, for Taco, for his mental, so we can not have another Red Bull and we can go to bed.
And I can just calm down. You know, the heart rate, it's not healthy, you know, to be able to go through that much adversity and try to figure out how
Cardiologists are expensive.
They really are, yeah, and I do not want to have to invest in that one. It's not necessarily, especially here in the United States. So not a fun time to be able to get treated for that. So instead, if we can just take care of that, then that'd be great. The problem is that we need that differential. Right now, we are up by 2-0. We might be able to end this in 4, and ShopFi is up by 2 on RMC in their game 4. So it looks like that series might be headed to 5. Hopefully, that is not a destination that we will find ourselves in, as it's another deflection across, and now back into midfield for JNAPS just to step in, push the little Nova Scotian out of the way.
Now, Xander, being as aggressive as ever, a la old Northwood days. JNAPS get it on target, but looks to just be as annoying as possible for fun, which is kind of the position we're really seeing JNAPS is he's cutting so much, he's making as much room as possible for Noli and Calm be able to try and just destroy any hope that Fun have at just holding a defensive rotation nice and cleanly.
Good patience by Calm. Doesn't even jump for that one, so doesn't get ricocheted off his tires or anything. He's just able to take that 50 and get into midfield. Noli will read that pass. You can see Fun really starting to panic here. 20 seconds remaining. It's just about OG making sure nothing silly goes on through as Fun has to full send. They're going for demos. They're not connecting. They're going for reads out of the midfield. They're barely getting anything muscled through by OG. And despite a valiant effort and a lot of chaos going down, it's looking like OG going to be closing out league play with a victory, or rather going to be closing out league play, at least with a game 5, which is pretty standard, as I forgot actually what the series score. I'm so used to I'm so used to everything. I literally was ramping up to be like, oh, that's a win. And we're like, wait, no, right, we lost that overtime last time. Well, at least it's ordinary in another way. Let's unramp there and then go into, yes, we do have to go to a game 5. A classic OG scenario.
Yes. Another game 5 on the books. And, you know, the last one went good. I'd like another, please.
Oh, wait a minute. Actually, interesting scenario. I looked at the clock. ShopFi was up by 2-0. I just looked back. They are now tied 2-2 with a minute 40 remaining in game 4. So potentially RMC with a chance to 3-1 Shopify. We will have to go to game 5, which will give us, if we win, a +5 or +1 differential. Shopify would lose a -2, and I believe that would actually put us ahead of them. So that would be enough if we just take this dub here.
Yeah, we just need to take the dub.
Seems so simple. It's so simple, right?
It's not like we've had 2 games right now where, you know, we've had 2+ goal leads, whatever. We just like,
oh boy,
what? You know, all right, game 5 here between OG and Fun to wrap up the Shift Summer League play.
And Sean has warned specifically to Seb, even though he's reading the chat, to be careful with the curse. So I suppose we will have to be extra careful. Because surely OG can't lose. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. T-Crawl, no, please. I just said something. Okay, good. Okay, we're good.
Fun fact, T-Crawl was the reason I got an official warning from my organization that I was casting with to not cast a curse. Because, you know, we definitely do those intentionally.
Yeah. I mean, you guys know my Venmo, my Cash App. It's linked to my Twitter. So, I mean, if you need a curse in a game I'm casting, I'm just saying. Like, you know, shoot over a quick Jackson, you know?
Yeah. Wait, which one's he on?
Oh, right. That doesn't work for you. Yeah, Jackson's a 20.
What's
on that? Shoot over a loon for Seb. A loony.
No, that's a loony, dude. Yeah, okay, I want a buck. All right.
Fine, a loony plus. Looney premium.
Give me a Robert Borden. There you go.
Oh yeah, household name Robert Borden.
Yeah, I think he's our $100. I think.
I'd assume Tim Horton is one of your founding fathers.
No. No. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Canadian education system. As we see JNAPS at least get back on the corner, back to. I mean, I swear we're trying to focus, chat. It's just sometimes these topics come up. And so does Calm, rising to the air, finding Noli on the pre-jump. Great save by Xander. And he's also going to be able to follow it up with Talk, saving away JNAPS.
And T-Corell, I need you to calm down because he usually is the impetus for these crazy plays that Fun tends to come up with. JNAPS goes up high, maybe looking for a second touch. Chalk, of course, he's there on the back wall. No problem at all. This goes all the way for the Nova Scotian.
Talk able to get a great catch on this one, but not only beating the first player, but Noli actually, I think, helps out the worst possible angle. He touched the ball right as he got bumped by Noli, and it just kind of ricocheted him into kind of catapulting that one even further away. Absolute disaster class there in terms of timing from OG, but that's only the first goal. They're certainly going to need more to be able to beat out OG, as clutch as we have been. Almost immediate response by Com.
JNAPS, though, cutting, and that would be a great attempt for Noli. He's looking to just keep it in the orange half for the time being. No boost at all. Decent comms need to be had from OG if they're going to want to take it to Fun right now. Calm, that's a good touch. Noli, decent amount of boost, and it's still looking dangerous here for the Fun defense, but OG just can't get it through.
Redo's Magic Cheese able to take down Shopify in game 4, which means, yes, 5th seed in Shift Summer League. If we're able to take this dub, Noli sneaking by on the blind side.
Yeah, let me take a look at this again because this came really from out of nowhere. Just the perfect doink. I don't even know if he intended for that.
And now we have the Shopify Rebellion Hate Watchers coming on in. Welcome in, everybody, as we try to see whether or not you guys can fuel through pure hate watch an OG loss.
Yep. I know I have a few Shopify people in my DMs that are going to be very upsetty if we somehow manage to break the hopes and dreams of Shopify once again.
I mean, it's not for eliminating them. They will be joining us in playoffs. It's just a 5th versus 6th seed, so it's still our lower bracket buds.
Lower bracket buds. Yeah. JNAPS going high. Listen. Shopify is the Canadian org. Support the Canadians. Okay? How about that?
Xander able to tuck that one forward. Com going to follow this one through. T-Girl really running out of options there. Scom was beckoning to get that 50. JNAPS over the top, going to be beaten by Talk. The read by Noli, and Xander does not bite on this one. Thought he might. Pass middle to Com, going to be man marked as Fun's being really mindful of all these crossfield touches.
Yeah, Xander shadowing pretty well to prevent the space that OG are developing and just keep them at bay. So this one, 90 seconds remaining. Com, Noli, good amount of boost to deal with T-Corell, but of course, T-Corell, the experience comes through as all of Fun fumbling over the ball. The team bump allows one for Com.
Honestly, I feel kind of vindicated on that one because OG has been scored a bunch of times based on getting kind of just calamitous in the corner. We were just bumping into each other, we were collapsing on each other, and then finally Fun has that exact scenario happen to them. So I'm like, hey, see, it happens to both of us. Now we have to see if that's going to be enough. Or maybe JNAPS, you want another one? How about a flip reset? How about an extension over? T-Corell just gets back with no boost, and then with a hefty flick, we'll find Talk in the air, looking for a double. Good cover by Com.
Yeah, you don't want to give him the space because he will operate on it. Minute remaining. It's all in OG's hands. This is a redirect that will go wide. Talk, full tank. JNAPS will challenge. Noli tries to put it low. JNAPS keeps it in play. Xander over to Com. He's going to play for the solo and just play it slow. Talk gets the challenge. JNAPS goes in, but it will be saved.
Trying to get the wave dash as Xander doesn't actually land his tires down, but it doesn't matter. T-Girl gets the cut. He's a one-on-one on Com, and a nice save away. Not only that, but Noli going around Xander as well. He's playing for time. Xander, he's got no time. Just immediately sends it for the demo. Pre-jump into T-Corell. And again, OG just getting 1 pixel on that read.
Just holding on by a thread. Noli gets the catch. Is he able to end it all? 15 seconds, maybe the last possession here for Fun as they try and just make this game 5 work. Noli gonna put it up high. Com leaves it for Noli. That will do it. OG will take another game 5 here for the Shift Summer League.
3 seconds early. Noli already saying GG's. Talking T-Corell. Nothing for Xander. Interesting. Little bit of beef, I think, carried over from ranked. Actually insane. As they have asked for give us 1. And I don't know if they're going to be willing to do that one. As we said, GG's. GG's in this one. A little bit of beef at the end, but you like to see it. It's a little spicy in league play, but league play, Seb, is done. OG certified number 5 seed in the Shift Summer League going into playoffs next week.
You know, it really makes my heart flutter when I get to make Shopify fans just reconsider the life choices. You know, it's just the best. It really is. So enjoy being below us once again. No, this is too much.
Nah.
No, shout outs to Shopify. They
Yeah.
legit. I'm very happy to see that they are actually in playoffs because I think they did get robbed a little bit by us. That's fine, but as long as you're able to be consistent near the top 6 is amazing. And OG, the bounce back as well. 2 insane best of 5s back to back. Beautiful.
Yes, and something that was never in doubt. Despite how bad we had played at times, we had that 0-1, 0-3 day. I was like, okay, that's rough, but I'm like, I know OG. I know we can clear this up. Immediate next day, get that 3-0, able to carry it back forward. And game difference is not the best, but I do feel I see the vision. How we're playing against Gen.G, even at times how we're playing against G2. It's looking better and better. I can't wait for playoffs. I'm not entirely sure what the bracket looks like. I think it might actually be updated fairly soon. I'm trying to get you guys an image of that soon as we're looking for all the final standings to be 100% sortified. And I think...
Listen, OG... Listen, OG, they're a bunch of old men, okay, which means they take a little bit to get going, okay, all right. They start off slow, and that's okay. Okay, wow, okay. G2 actually got number 1 seed off of 1 game,
single game.
Oh, eat your heart out, RMC, but they're still in a really good spot. So, did the bracket get updated?
This is the league play, so anybody who uses exclamation point bracket, you will be brought to this league play instead. I think it's an overview. I think they should have this one scheduled in. Yes, indeed. So this is what the bracket's going to look like. I believe this is going to be taking place on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, so same time as what we've been dealing with for league play matches. It's going to be G2 Stride and Gen.G in the upper bracket semifinals, RMC and Space Station in the upper bracket, and then, of course, the lower bracket, the 5th and 6th spots that us and Shopify are sitting in. We will be waiting for the losers of that. So we will be playing either Gen.G or G2. Oh my.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean,
low-key, maybe better to be 6th seed based on how this works.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, listen, like, yeah, we barely walked away with win against Space Station and Gen.G, but I'm more comfortable playing Gen.G at this point, I think, than I am Space Station or RMC. I mean, as long as G2 and RMC play to their seed, this is okay for us to start off with.
Yeah, RMC has been playing definitely really solidly. Space Station obviously going to be looking great, but yeah, I mean, I guess technically Gen.G is a lower seed, so if they lose against G2, then technically you're playing the lowest possible seed out of the upper bracket, technically. But either way, yeah, this is going to be the playoff bracket that is going to be situated on Tuesday. There will be actually, I believe, no team streams for that weekend. I don't believe Shift is trying to organize that as much, or at least for myself, there will not be a team stream. So that is something that, unfortunately, you guys will have to go to Shift RLE for the Twitch stream for that one, and you'll be able to do that. And I believe they are also trying to organize other ways of making sure every single game is on stream, being covered by every possible person that it could have, you know, any willingness to watch any single one of these matchups.
I think even among all these matchups, I don't really think there's any doubt that we do have kind of the top 6. I think that really have performed here. I think maybe you can make a case for, like, if Dignitas or Poab like had a better day where they just got and collected more performances, yeah, sure. But otherwise, like, I'm pretty confident in all these teams. I'm interested to see just what the playoff form is going to be like, right? Like, it's one thing to perform during league play. We have seen that a bunch of times, but we know when push comes to shove that playoffs, especially with best of 7s, are very, very different in terms of environment, in terms of vibe, than the rest of league play. And I think we might be surprised by a couple teams. I think Shopify might have a really good chance at making a run, but I think there's a chance we might be disappointed by maybe one of our top seeds. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it's going to look like. All I do know is that we are in an interesting realm of games lately. This is the, of course, warm-up to the World Championship for a lot of these teams. But also, I mean, shout out and also cheer on the squads that you like to see, like Reddle's Magic Cheese, like a lot of these squads out there in the open season. Because one thing I think we always forget is, yes, this is entertaining. It's like a lot of cool stuff going on here. But this is also a chance for teams to show off for orgs potentially in the future, and actually trying to get all that. So something important to be able to witness within that regard. As Paz has updated us, apparently Com said Noli will not be there for playoffs. The return of Torment? The return of Torment into the OG lineup?
Noli is going to be like, are you joking in that he's just going to disappear because he'll be playing badly, or like you're going to have a sub? Because that's crazy. Damn. All right.
Tor is hopping in. Okay, Com has confirmed in chat that is indeed what's going on here. So Com, thank you for the update on that one. Tragic, but also I know that
version 1, eh?
Yeah, but Torment, I mean, even though at London when all the guys were playing like Torment, he was hopping in free play. He still got it. He's fast. He's speedy.
Casted him in Axel. He still balls. He's a good man, dude.
Torment's
like,
a world champion. I mean, he's got the accolade. Yeah, he can lock in. I have no concern whatsoever.
Com, in case you're still here, I still have the V1 jersey that has you V1 or sorry, you Torment. Who was the third at the time? Was it Daniel? I think. Yeah, I have that jersey that's signed. Yeah. So maybe I'll wear that. Actually, I should wear that. But it's hype. It's hype. It's hype. It's hype.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it is hype for OG to get into the playoffs. It's going to be a weird one to see how that actually works out. But yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the OG team stream yet again. It's been a blast. Seb, you've not been around for a bit because you've had a lot of life stuff that has come up.
Yes, life. I love life. Oh, yes. I love life. I love
Gotta
stress.
Love
Eevee. But no, I'm very excited because obviously, we have Summer Series this weekend, and I will be having my proper studio good and ready to go with a lot more casting, a lot more some of that content. You know what I mean? So we'll be balling out, and of course for OG in the future. I mean, we're both going to be at Worlds, right? I don't know. We should save a proper announcement for Twitter at some point. But yeah, we'll both be at Worlds. So go to Worlds. It'll be a good time.
Everyone should see that Worlds, and of course that'll be the end of this stream. But of course, it'll not be the end of the OG support. They need support, obviously, in playoffs Tuesday of next week. I believe Paz also put that on there at 8 p.m. EST. Not sure if there's going to be a team stream for that, so just be aware of that. But outside of that, you will be able to tune in to Shift Arley. I believe Shift is also trying to plan some second stream to be able to capture all the games so that the broadcast is not 40 hours long. But other than that, I'm just going to rate out. Tordad has mentioned he will fill in for Coach when Torment plays, but then who becomes Tordad? Is there a replacement for that? Tordad, do you have a replacement? Have you been training up a replacement Torment father? I don't know. I don't know if he's ready for those questions, Seb.
Yeah, Bulby sub me in. All right.
Bulby is now Tordad coming in next week. All right. But then who's covering socials for OG? It just keeps continuing. It's so difficult.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. It's fine. But then who's cat? Or it's fine.
We'll figure it out. We'll just go in a huge loop. Anyway, peace out. We're gonna send it right over to Randy. Big love that. Obviously, follow Seb below at Seb. Myself at the Danger Taco. We are OG's casters. We're super fans. We love all that. Trying to guide you guys through. It's potentially the final OG stream that we're gonna be able to have for quite some time here
for a while.
Yeah. So to stay involved at OG Esports at OG Esports RL. And as well, just be able to follow as well through shop.ogs.gg. Get some merch, baseball jersey, hats. We got flip-flops. We got JNAP's printed freezer attachments. We have magnets. We have stickers. Only some of those are made up. We have OG pens. Probably some of those are correct. Either way, have fun. Have a good rest of your night. OG in the playoffs. We'll be seeing you guys next week. Cheer on OG in the chat, and we will see you guys next time. And